trying to come through today. Yeah, he said he didn't. He said I didn't tell him that y'all were coming, but I'm pretty certain we talked about it. Really? Pretty certain we talked about it.
Man. He called me yesterday.
Yeah.
That's what I call him, money making man.
Yeah. I had a nickname for him too, but I hadn't landed on. Every time I talk to him, I call him something different.
All right, we ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey, yo, cut the music. Hey, yo, I interrupt your daily scheduled broadcast to let you know you're in the field with the Trackstarz. This is one of the loudest hip-hop radio shows on the face of the planet.
Yeah, it's about that time, you already know. Turn the speakers up, man, it's time to start the show. Sean Tanner, Ryan Righteous, DJ Jeremiah. We bringing the heat, man, this joint be fire like, bruh. We in the field, bruh. We in the field, just put it in work, we raising the bar. Tuned in to the Trackstarz.
Yeah, back in the field with the Trackstarz. Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. What's good?
All right, this segment is sponsored by the Kingdom Choice Awards. September 28th, it's going down. Crumble Theater, all the way out in New York. Make sure you get your tickets. Make sure you're in the building. It's going to be awesome. Last time we were there, man, we saw this man, Aaron Cole.
Yeah.
We got him in the building today. Yeah, we saw you out there, man,
what's
doing
up?
thing. That was 2 years ago, but make sure you go out and check out the website kingdomtimemedia.com/Kingdom Choice Awards for your tickets, all right?
So we got Aaron Cole in the building. How you doing, sir?
Good, man. How are you?
Not by chance.
Yes, sir.
Out
Yeah.
now.
Out now. Let's go.
How you feel, man?
I feel good, bro. The love's been crazy. I'm just grateful, bro. It's really dope.
It's been a long time coming, man.
Long time.
It's been a long time.
Yes.
Time.
I'm sitting here trying to do timetables as to when we first met you, and then when we started talking about your good news at Flavor Fest, and then when you came back to the studio, and then it's just the time has been crazy, man. I feel like you've grown up, but it feels like you have always just been the same person. Like just maturity has always been your staple. So
hey, I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
I appreciate that.
So let's actually get into the album. So Jeremiah's gonna play a little mix real quick, and then we'll come back. And since we actually have you here, we just gonna ask you questions about it. Let's do it.
I've had some good days.
Remember when we had no money, we just sang. Sleeping in our closet, now we on the better things. Yelling flashback, think I need a time cap. When my auntie told me, get a job and quit rap. Moving on to better things like I'm LeBron, yeah. I'm a son of wild thoughts like I'm a side, yeah. They picking and pointing, waiting for my mistakes. Can't enjoy my walk to success cause I'm watching for snakes. I don't know. I'm bad, yeah. Get on my path. Yeah, hit us up trash. Yeah, you did the math. I do not pass. Yeah, make him upset. Yeah, he got my bag. Yeah, so I'm in my bag. Yeah, it's crazy. I knew what I wanted ever since age 3. They was on Disney, I was on Jay-Z. Born for this thing, so don't play me, don't blame me. Yeah, I ain't have cable, but I had you. Before the 50,000 people in the bathroom. Yeah, so say they giving to the homeless. Look at me, I'm golden. Doing anything just to get noticed. Yeah, you ain't gotta flaunt it. Praise, I know you want it. Don't gotta show out if you really. It really baffled me, man, it really baffled me. How everybody want God's blessings, don't want him actually. Favor ain't fair, so tell them they coming after me. They students on my game, I guess my name is on the faculty. That I can talk to you for hours, girl. Ace of Spades had it on you most valuable. Can't find another you even around a while. God bless the kid when I found you, yeah. Yeah, you were more than rubies, hey. Looking at all these photos, can't get them out my head, it's like a slow-mo. It's hard to live when you need to let your past go. Got a ways to go, and yeah, I'm moving on. I'm coasting, got the only one I boast in. Add me, then minus you, and then double that like the old sins. This here for my foe, this for the young dudes on dope. God love me just like he love you, so just know you got hope. Always told me work for what I want, yeah. Always did when they told me that I want, yeah. So I don't understand the spoiled tip. My parents' money spoiled rich. I've been on my own kick that I'm gonna have the world grip.
To your living room. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. I think that's been like my thing since the beginning. Like it's like I don't really write about it unless I go through it. Yeah. And sometimes it's like if I'm not going through nothing, I don't know how to write. So you know what I'm saying? And so like I just feel like this past few years it's just like it's been a lot of transitions for me and like a lot of just life lessons that I've been like going through. And so like it just bled through the music. Like last year was a crazy year, like just ups, downs, like kind of thing. And so I feel like it just all came out in the album. So yeah.
So what was it about just the fact that, just being on a major and having so much of life hit you so fast? Is that what's kind of like got you out there?
Yeah, nah, for sure. It was like, they always say like when things start, about to level up or like leveling up in your life, that's when like the devil attacks the most. Yeah. And so that definitely happened. It was like I was number one, with the One More Day joint, and then it was just a bunch of life going on. Like you can hear it in Love Don't Cost a Thing when I was just talking about what was going on, like my sister sleeping on the air mattress, and just transitions of my family and stuff like that. I just moved to Nashville, so I was still trying to figure out how to be on my own and stuff like that, and just dealing with personal stuff, like what I'm saying, growing and maturing and like figuring out things about myself. And so all that stuff was going on while I'm just continuing to elevate in my career. And so bro, it was rough, but only thing that kept me was God. So
praise God for that.
I don't think people realize that just because you got a #1 record don't mean you living in a mansion.
Nothing, bro. I'm living with Cannon, bro. Shout out Cannon and Rich, you feel me?
That's what's up.
But that's got to be a weird feeling where you seem to be so loved and respected in one area, but it don't show like around you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah.
You know what I'm saying? You walking in the grocery store, those people don't care. You know what I mean? These people care over here. These people don't care at all.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I can go anywhere. I'm from Bristol, so in the small town Bristol, like you can feel like a celebrity because it's so small. It's like I go home back in Bristol, it's like I can go out, take pictures. I go out in Nashville, bro. I be going out, bro, looking crazy, do-ragged up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares. So, it's like you said, it's like you can have #1 record and nobody know who you are for sure.
Have you put up your first album, well, not only for your first, but when you were 15, the first one you gave us, right? Yeah. And then put it up with this one.
Have I don't listen to that record, bro. I can't do it.
What do you think is the main difference? What'd you learn over the years?
So I haven't listened to 15 in a minute, but I just remember like from 15, it was like I was spitting so hard. Like I was rapping so hard into the mic. It was like I was yelling everything that I said. Yeah. And I feel like now I just learned how to like maneuver my voice, like know when to be soft on the mic, know when to, know when to go hard, know when to give like, that kind of thing. But also I just think my song structure and just continuing to elevate and continuing to grow and, writing all the time, that's 5 years of time. So it's like I just feel like the songs are completely better, and for sure. But the main thing is that voice thing, that voice thing, because it's like it's wild. I can't. Okay. I be yelling in that junk when I was 15. So
that's good. That's good.
So you said you're 20 now.
I'm 20
right?
now. Yeah.
What has grown you up the fastest out of all of this? What's growing you up the fastest?
That's a good question. I think just being thrown out into the world. It was like when I moved to Nashville, it was like I didn't really have a lot of money like that. Like it was like I had about $500 to $1,000, you know what I'm saying? And so my dad was just like, nah, you got to get out. So, so I got out and I was just, in Nashville, but things started, got blessed and, I was able to do tours and like stave up and stuff like that. So I'm good. But I think the best, life experience is just doing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like how they say like, how you learn how to swim. It's like you just throw them in there. Yeah. I feel like that's that's the best way that I learned. So
there you go.
How's it feel to be nominated for a Dove, man? Best
That's
new
crazy.
artist.
That's crazy. Because I've been sneaking on double or red carpets for 5 years. so to be nominated like is wild. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just wild to be I just feel like appreciated, and you know, I feel like, you know, people are starting to recognize and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm grateful, bro. That's wild. My dad texted me and I was like, nah, you lying. Like, I didn't think he was for real. So yeah, it's dope, bro.
So what are your favorite songs on this album?
Yeah, my favorite song is Say Less. Just because I think being around, I always shout out Toby with this. Being around Toby, ever since I got signed to him, it's like Toby has been like the same dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, chilling, like no matter how, you know, much he's grown, no matter how much, you know, whatever, like Toby has been the same, treating me with the same respect, treating my family with the same respect, and that's the word around town, like, about him, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just treats everyone with the same respect, whether it's the janitor, whether it's his wife. It's like everyone has the same respect. And it's like, it's something that Toby doesn't have to say about himself. It's like, it's not like Toby's going around and being like, oh yeah, like, you know, I treat everyone with the same respect. It's like, no, people saying that about him. And I feel like our, you know, our generation is like, we more so gotta say it ourselves. It's like, oh yeah, I do this. I respect people. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's something like Say Less is a song like ministering to myself of like, yo, like, I want to be that person when all this is said and done, that people is like, yeah, Aaron treats people with the same respect, like, you know, that whole kind of thing. And, you know, I just respected people and honored people. So it's a constant battle of like, you know, just let my life do the talking, and, you know, let my fruit do the talking, then me do the talking. So yeah.
What do you say to somebody that was in your position? Like, I remember we was at Flavor Fest, and you had the goatee sticker on your joint, and I made a joke like, yo, if you want to know who Aaron signed to, you want to do that? How do you, like, if somebody who is signed but can't really say nothing about it, and then they want to continue to put out music and stuff like that, what would your advice be to them?
I would say be patient. I think for me at that time, I couldn't see the reason that couldn't say nothing or couldn't wait. So I feel like now it's like, as I look back on that time, it was like that time right there was just so strategic, like for, you know, the things that I'm maneuvering through now, like with the industry and stuff like that, and just, you know, my character and myself. And so I would say be patient, man, and just, you know, tuck your head down and keep working on your craft, keep, you know, building your character, keep treating people, building relationships and stuff like that. Because that time, like, you don't get that time back. It's like now I'm like, even though this debut album is out right now, it's like I'm working because I know the next thing is I got to come with the next thing now. You know what I'm saying? So, but you don't get that time with, like, in that time you have all the time in the world to just work on and perfect whatever you're doing right now. You know what I'm saying? So, I would say be patient for real. Yeah.
So you say you're trying to get to Beatles range, right?
Yeah.
So this is,
I like it.
This is step one.
This
is step one, right?
Yeah.
So what's the game plan now, right? So you got this debut out.
Yeah.
I know you got like a million more songs ready to go.
Yeah, for sure.
So is there a game plan already set up for you for the next 5 years? Like what we doing?
Yeah. I mean, we definitely working on it. My team is working on it, but you know, I got songs ready. I got songs prepared for when they're coming out, like all the way into next year. But I feel like now it's just more like engaging with my fans, and like I was telling y'all off air, of like, you know, building my own Aaron Cole fans, and like, you know, really engaging and really making them, you know, making it love, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do my own like headline tour next year and stuff like that. Just so I'm saying, like, continue to build and continue to grow. So we did a lot of ticketed shows like this year, like past couple months, and they've been going well, and we just, you know, sold out tonight. It's been dope. So
I got a question for you. We've been a part of this. This has been, y'all have been family for us for a long time, right? We've had conversation. We know the backstories. We know the funnies that make us laugh and everything like that. And we know this is something that your dad, you guys, you prepared for years. You prayed for this.
Right.
How hard is this? How hard is it?
It's hard, and it's not hard, but it's hard.
Yeah.
I feel like the main reason it's hard though is because it's a lot of more so than like the music and all that stuff. Like, that's easy. That's what you're born to do. You know, the gift, that's the gift that God's giving you. So like music and stuff like that, that's easy. I feel like it's the personal work, you know, the inside work, and keeping your heart in check as you're, you know, maneuvering through this industry.
Right.
That's the hard part, because it's like you can look up and you can look back and be like, dang, like I am not the same I was 2 years ago, and I didn't even notice it. It's like just because I'm out here and people are telling me like, oh yeah, Aaron, you're so great, you're so great, you're so great, you're so great. You start to be like, I am great, I am great. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like you got to keep people around you that's like, you know, to tell you like, not that you're not that great, but like, you know, to point to God and to keep yourself into humility, because it's hard to be, you know, humble. Just being honest, it's hard to be humble when constantly people are telling you how great you are. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's the hard part of like the personal growth and keeping your heart in check when it comes to you know, the industry and making music, especially for God.
So I know you mad competitive. So how hard is it for you to not spend 90% of your pen on bragging about?
It's hard. It's hard
because you know, like on a Christian album, man, you don't even realize it sometimes. You just write like, dang, I'm bragging like a mug in this track.
You be mad.
How do you, like, because I heard you mention worship on one of the last songs, and I always wonder, is Christian hip hop, is it capable of leading people into worship? Because it seems like so much of it is really just kind of showing off. You know, most of it's kind of showing off. But you kind of have a secret weapon because you can sing. So you have you have an ability to get them to that.
Right.
I just wonder why you're writing in your balance. Are you mostly thinking about other rappers? Are you mostly thinking about why I'm doing this in the first place?
That's a good question. I feel like if I'm honest, bro, it's like, it's a battle because you can be sitting at home on Instagram, see somebody killing it and be like, I'm better than that, and like wanna write a verse, like, you know what I'm saying? I'll be for real, you know what I'm saying? Like, in like, y'all know me, like I'm kind of like, I feel like I'm in the middle a lot because it's like I sing, you know, I had a pop records, whatever, but I also do the hip hop, so it's like I'm like in the middle to where it's like they're over here, they're over here, and so a lot of the times I just feel like sometimes, if I'm being honest, it's like in my conscience is like, yo, you gotta prove yourself.
Yeah, show them.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so if I'm being honest, it's a battle, but definitely I always come back to it's like, nah, like if I start looking at the songs that I have and I'm like, yo, I'm just bragging the whole time, it's like, one, I feel convicted by it, but then like also the people around me is like, what are you doing? All of this stuff is just, you know, pointing to yourself. So I feel like with this album, I definitely try to, you know, put the worship in there. It's definitely like with who you are and stuff like that. And I feel like in who you are, I showed the battle of like, yo, like God, like I've been busy, like, you know, making, well, that was Love Don't Cost a Thing of like, yo, God, I've been busy like making all these songs, like I haven't even like spent time with you, you know what I'm saying? And so that's a constant struggle too of what you was talking about of like, yo, you get busy and, you know, doing all this stuff. Like I remember I watched the interview with Andy Mineo like years ago, and he was saying how people was checking him on his time with God, and he was like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm booked. It's like, that's a real thing we struggle through. Like, you know what I'm saying? We feeling like, yo, like we out here doing shows, like, you know what I'm saying? We doing shows like for God and all that stuff. It's like, oh yeah, we good. But really it's like, we got to take that time to spend with God, because it's like, you find yourself, like I said, just getting far and farther away, you know, from, you know, having that relationship with God. And so, yeah, it's, to answer your question, it's a struggle, but I try to always just get my mind back focused to what I do it for.
I think the truth is, I mean, I've said this to you already, I don't think you have to prove anything anymore. You know what I mean? Like you've already shown what you can do.
I appreciate
so
that.
Now it's like, now you just got to do it when necessary. Pull out the rap when necessary. Sing when necessary. It's not about like, I know you're always, I understand, but I know you're always going to feel like, oh man, I need people to see that the skill is there, and don't forget about me just because I sing. Don't I know that. But trust me, like whenever you break it out, it's obvious.
I appreciate it.
So don't worry about it.
I appreciate it.
Where did Do Rag Cole come from? Talking about that. Is that some of that what you just talked about? Like seeing people rap and be like, man, I could do that, or is that something? Where it's like,
I don't think that was from that. I think that was more from, okay, if I'm being honest, you know, Toby, I don't know his last name, Yeah. So I was watching an interview with him and E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher. I watched The Secret, whatever his podcast is, E.T. And they were just talking to Toby about, like, you know, everybody cared, like nobody cares about you being talented, everybody cares about you being consistent and how consistent you are. And so from that, it was like I had started wearing do-rags because, you know, I had, you know, grew my hair out more, and so I was like, bet, like do-rag Cole, I'm gonna just do bars and get in the car. So, and then my dad was like, oh yeah, that's it. Like everybody around me was just like, yeah, go ahead and do that. So yeah, we just started that to just be like, you know, build consistent, you know, content every week. So yeah.
Dope. So is that something that your fans look forward to? Like, when is the next one?
Yeah, I missed it just this Tuesday just to post the documentary, and everybody was like, oh yeah, you missed Do-Rag Cold Tuesday. So I feel like now I'm gonna start, like, you know, of course still doing it, but like bringing it into my shows and stuff like that. Like I'm gonna just go off stage, put the do-rag on, and do the Do-Rag Cold Tuesday junk. You know what I'm saying? Make it a whole junk.
Crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So you got a big thing happening tonight.
Yeah,
sold out,
crazy. And like I just gotta say, it was like in 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was wild quick. Because it was like I'm gonna just put Derek out there. So I was at this show and it was like 2 weeks into the show. And I called Derek and I was like, yo, bro, I was like, I'm doing this release show. I was like, I'm trying to get everybody on the album there. I was like, you cool if, you know, I bring you out, whatever. He was like, yeah, let's do it. And I was like, all right, bet. Like, it's in 2 weeks, whatever. I was about to hang up the phone. He was like, wait. He was like, hold up. He was like, you doing ticketed show in 2 weeks? You trying to sell it in Atlanta? I was like, yeah, bro. I was like, we can do it, son. He was like, Aaron. He was like, bro, that ain't smart, bro. He's like, that ain't smart, bro. Yeah. And I was like, nah, bro. I was like, it's gonna happen. And yeah, we sold out 2 weeks, and then we added 10 more tickets, and them sold out in like a day. So it's crazy, bro. It's like it's all God, because you know I can't take care for that at all. In 2 weeks, bro, that's wild.
Yeah, so, that's what's up. That's really dope.
Yeah,
that's really dope. So you got everybody that's on the project. Are they gonna be out there?
The only people that's not gonna be there is Caleb, Evan, and Chastity.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Just because Evan's in Denver, Caleb got a lot of stuff going right now, and Chastity's in Sacramento, California.
So that's a good question. How do you choose who you work with on your project?
Yeah.
How do you choose that?
I think me, I just work with who, you know, I'm friends with.
Yeah.
Like if you notice, like the whole time I've been doing music, it's like Caleb's probably been on all my stuff. I've done a bunch of songs with Derek, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And me and Fuse been trying to work ever since that Cannon Bash, when the what is it, the Christmas joint or whatever. I met him there, and we've been trying to work since then, and we just haven't got one, and then we finally got one. So it's like I usually just put people that, you know, I'm cool with. Same thing with Evan. Me and Evan we got bunches of songs just came out. Wow. So but Chastity's is a new artist that I met through JG. I don't know if y'all remember JG. He used to be in RPS and G.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I met her through him, and she's crazy with it. She's next for sure. So
that's what's up.
And I just work with people that's dope, and it's like we cool, we vibe. It's like let's do it.
Yeah.
So, do you feel like you one of the new leaders of the CHH movement for the new generation?
Do y'all feel like that?
He definitely does. Yeah. I sing your praises every week on this show. Yeah. He your biggest fan, bro.
You know it. Come on, man. You already know that.
We was having a debate between you and Lecrae being this.
Oh man.
So to think about you, Aaron, you know, we take it far back, man. Like it's, to me, it's like when you. For me, it goes beyond music. It goes to the person, right? Yeah. And then when I'm able to see the person making strides and transitions and staying, you know, authentically who they are and of God, but then also carving out a lane where people can't get you confused with anybody else, right?
Right.
And there's somebody else on our team that I feel like does that too, or that, you know, is in that lane. But yeah, I think you have a lane where you have. You haven't had to be categorized. You haven't had to be put in on labels or boxes or anything like that, because people can just kind of pull you out of that and see what you're doing and know that the talent is there. They're not comparing you to anybody, and it's just crazy, man.
That's why we over the years have always stayed on you about like how you doing for real, because we know this age, you know, we had to stay on each other during that time, because it's so easy to get caught up in all that stuff. You know what
tough.
I mean?
Yeah, pray for me for sure.
The secret life is hard.
Yeah.
Because even your dad might not know like some of the things that you struggle with in here.
Yeah.
You know?
No doubt.
And if it wasn't for like I used to, you know, dealing with girls and everything, used to be like, yo, Ryan,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pray for me, bro. Today wasn't a good day. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like that's serious. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And having people to bounce that stuff off of and keep you like right, because pride, lust, greed,
it's real.
All of that will take you out all the way out. And that's why we such big fans of you, because we've seen you grow, and we've seen like what this is really about for you.
Yeah.
So
appreciate it.
Keep leaning on that, man. Like above talent, above success, that character is way more important.
Yeah.
And that's what's gonna keep you for the long haul. You know
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't feel like this was a interview, man. I feel like it was a homecoming.
Yeah.
Right? 'Cause I just thought about it.
Yeah.
The reason why I felt like you hadn't aged to me is because we were just together last year when we did the video shoot.
Yeah, video
so that's why I was like, wait a minute. I knew it hadn't been that long since I seen you.
Yeah.
But even when you all come to town, man, you all always show love. You always support Trackstarz. You get on here.
Yeah.
And always
comment.
comment.
I'll be in there, bro.
on
That's crazy.
YouTube
Y'all thought I knew that y'all was doing. I did not know y'all was doing my life line that day.
Really? Wow.
I just got in and was like, yeah, what's up? And then y'all said, I was about to bounce for real. I was like, yeah, nah, I'm not witnessing this.
Did you win? I don't remember what happened.
I think you did.
Yeah, you won.
I think you did. That was against Scorpion. Yeah.
I think this would have been even better against Scorpion, I think.
Oh yeah. Hook that up.
This is no, seriously. Like, I was listening to it the whole time. I was like, this don't sound like Scorpion, but this is like something that can compete with that sound.
Yeah.
Because I personally, I know a lot of people like Scorpion, but it didn't hit like that for me. This had a lot of stuff on there that I was like, yo, this if we actually paired them up one-on-one, I think people like Drake because it's Drake, right? Yeah. But if you actually hear it like against something, it's like, I don't know if it was that great. You know what I mean? So I do think this would have been a good one. But I like, okay, what was your favorite? Do y'all remember?
For me,
normally the person ain't here when we do this, so we're supposed to be honest about this.
So,
I like Maybe.
Now that was mine.
Maybe goes crazy.
Yeah, maybe just because
too.
I like the way. First of all, man, when you pick a feature, you pick good artists that complement the track. Right.
I got everyone's best verse on my album, bro. Fact. Like few demolished that. And I'm gonna just be honest. I had to write 4 verses, bro.
Really?
That's the first time I've ever had to write 4 verses.
Is that the first time you've ever gone back and rewritten?
Yeah.
Rewritten.
Wow.
Rewritten.
Yes,
they don't do that no more.
Shout out to 1K Few. Yes,
That's
bro.
what's up. That's what's up.
Demolished, bro.
So that was the other person I was talking about. I just didn't want to say it.
Oh,
everybody thinks I'm biased about.
Few's my guy. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm sure you hear this a lot, but Back in My Bag is crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The production on that is crazy. Just
shout
by
out,
itself.
shout out Chino, Chris King. Yeah.
It stands out like, okay, this is special.
Appreciate
it.
it.
But there's a lot of them that
I feel like
that, though.
I feel like Cassius Clay should have a dance to it. Right?
Clay.
Like Watch Me Sway.
Yeah.
It should be something that you do with that, man. Like that's crazy. And then I gotta go ahead and just pull at this string, man. There's a lot of songs on here that reference somebody special.
Yeah.
Oh,
what's that
I got
about?
a girl, yeah.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a girl. Cool.
That's new, Aaron. You brag about everything.
Yeah, I mean, we've been together for like a year and a half now. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So yeah,
All right. Anything you want to say about it?
she's great, and she points me to Jesus too. So.
I got.
Amen.
Got you. Got you.
Amen.
Got you.
Great
That's
answer.
what's up.
Yeah, I noticed the Up in Love songs on this joint. Like,
Oh yeah.
It's like somebody-
It's only one. And I mean,
Nice
one-
couple. You mentioned it in Y.
I think you were
right?
fighting in on
Right?
some of the
Isn't
Jesus
it?
joints.
You
like-
mentioned it in Y.
I heard a baby on one that was supposed to be about God.
Why ain't Cassius Clay?
Slash. You mentioned it.
Why
God, I
Cassius
love
Clay?
baby.
Yeah, Cassius Clay. There you go.
Why ain't Cassius
Why
Clay?
ain't Cassius Clay? Yeah.
I got a girl now. No more
Somebody
single
is
thing.
smitten.
Yeah.
That's great, though.
Next.
That's great. That's a great thing, brother.
No, appreciate it.
Why'd you name the album Not By Chance?
Yeah. So it's 3 parts to Not By Chance. So the first part is definitely like y'all seen the journey of just like working and grinding, all the things that I had to sacrifice, my parents, my family had to sacrifice for me to get to the point that I'm at. I feel like everything that I went through, up until this moment was strategic and it wasn't by chance, you know what I'm saying? And the second part is just not by chance, by his grace. And so it's like, even with all this work, even with all this dedication that I did, it's like all that is in vain if, God didn't have his grace and God didn't have his hand on me. And so that's the second part. And then the third part is just kind of like what we were talking about earlier of like sometimes I feel like an outcast, and I feel like, you know, I get in my head a lot of like, oh dang, like this person not rocking with me, they not rocking with me either. All right, bet I gotta come, you know, go crazy with it. Yeah. And I feel like God was just showing me like, you know, he's just showing me that I've been called to be set apart. And so, you know, and that's biblical too. And so I'm just like, you know, it's not by chance that God made me who I am. And I feel like that's for everyone. And so it's an analogy I've been using of like, it's like if you think about animals, you think about a fish and you think about a bird. So a fish is a genius in the water, right? And a bird is a genius in the sky. But if they try to be each other, it's like they both gonna die because a fish can't, you know, survive without. So I feel like if Aaron Cole is a genius being Aaron Cole, but if I try to be, you know, Ryan Righteous, it's like I'm gonna fail and I'm gonna just wither away. You know what I'm saying?
You can be wrong.
So nah, bro.
But then also I heard that you was gonna drop on the same day as Chance the Rapper, so you was gonna call it Not By Chance. I'm joking.
I thought it was a low key diss when I first saw it.
Nah, bro. I didn't even think about that, son. No. Heck nah.
Big day, Not By Chance.
Nah. No, Chance, bro. Hey, if you want me on your album next time, let's go. You feel me? No.
Well, we just playing, man. All right, man. So we probably about to get into it. What song you want me to play off so people can hear it?
I mean, play Cassius Clay. I feel like I said a lot that people.
You want to intro this bad boy?
Yeah. Cassius Clay is just about, you know what I'm saying, all the stuff that's going on in my life and, you know, the industry. It's like Cassius Clay, watch me sway. I'm gonna just be really about what I'm saying, about what I'm preaching. So watch me sway. Cassius Clay.
Awesome stuff. All right, man, let's get back into it. You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let go.
Hey guys, this is Miracle from Trackstarz. I wanted to make sure you all know all about the official Trackstarz universe. If you'd like a free Trackstarz t-shirt, free merch, discounts, exclusive content, and direct access to your favorite radio hosts, then this is for you. Make sure to check out trackstarz.com/official. Again, that's trackstarz.com/official.
This is that brand new music. Yeah. Ali. Yeah, I'm really about it. Yeah. I'm really about it. The fame ain't changed a thing. I'm still the same, and I'm really about it. Yeah. I'm really about it. Yeah. Cassius Clay, watch me sway. Man, I'm really about it. Yeah. I'm really about it. Yeah, the fame ain't changed a thing. I'm still the same, and I'm really about it. Yeah. I'm really about it. Cassius Clay, watch me sway. All these rappers acting like they know me. But I just tried to do something like Ginobili. Yeah, I roll with God, yeah, my kingy holy. Look, I'ma be the best until I'm 40. Tell these award shows to put respect on my name. It's crazy when you tell the truth, they don't treat you the same. I swear this industry is like playing a video game. Until I die, it's gonna be Jesus Christ I proclaim. Look, I ain't compromising for a single thing. Got a girl now, no more single things. I ain't satisfied till I'm Beatles range. I'm just in my lane doing what he say. Never play. Yeah, I'm really about it. Yeah. I'm really about it. The fame ain't changed a thing. I'm still the same, and I'm really about it. Yeah. I'm really about it. Yeah. Cassius Clay, watch me sway. Man, I'm really about it. Yeah. I'm really about it. Yeah, the fame ain't changed a thing. I'm still the same, and I'm really about it. Yeah. I'm really about it. Cassius Clay, watch me sway. Yeah, it really baffled me. Man, it really baffled me. How everybody want God's blessings, don't want him actually. Favor ain't fair, so tell them they coming after me. They students on my game, I guess my name is on the faculty. I can't help it that I'm current. You can't ride my wave, it's too big of a current. I'm the son of God, I know that thing is for certain. I'm like Jeffrey Butler, I'm just trying to be a servant. So I don't care about being seen with y'all favorite rapper. I'ma be who God made me, don't care about all the chatter. Book me if you wanna talk, I'm in a whole nother chapter. I mean what I say, homie, that ain't no adapting. Let's go. Yeah, I'm really about it. Yeah. I'm really about it. The fame ain't changed a thing, I'm still the same, and I'm really about it. Yeah. I'm really about it. Yeah. Cassius Clay, watch me sway. Man, I'm really about it. Yeah. I'm really
What's good, yo? It's your boy Stephen Malcolm, and you are in the field with Trackstarz.
This is a Trackstarz exclusive. Yeah. Happy birthday, MC Nice.
Yeah. Nicey.
Yeah, so she's friends with, she's been friends with Canada and Rich for a minute. And so, me moving into like a couple months in, like she got came and stayed with them or whatever. And the last time she was there, I actually came back to the show. I met her like that, and then we connected on social media a couple weeks later. And then like we was just talking, chopping it up, and then I think a couple months later, like we started like meeting and for real. Yeah, so.
I don't even know anything about her.
Hi, Erica.
Erica, nice to meet
Nice to meet you too. I like your shirt.
Thank you.
I got his shoes.
Oh, okay.
The LeBron equality.
LeBron, yeah.
Oh yeah, she got the equality.
Oh, really?
So excited.
Yeah, my wife bought this one.
Yeah. Are you like a LeBron fan?
Not actually.
I'm not either.
I was when he was on the Heat. That's my hometown. So once he left, it was like.
Gotcha. I was about to ask you if you thought he was better than Jordan.
No.
Yeah.
Do you?
Well, Bulls fan, first of all. So.
Your generation is starting to trip a little bit.
Yeah, no, they are thinking that for sure.
Starting to lose their way a little bit here. No, not at all. Yeah, but that year with him and Wade, that was the years, 4 years with him and Wade, that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, none compares to Jordan.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite player now?
Man, I was a fan of Kyrie until he started being like a crier. Yeah. Huh? That was my favorite player.
Rose, when he was
Right, when he had needs. But I like,
my brother loves Derrick Rose.
I love Derrick Rose, but it's still like I don't know how many years. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You might not.
Yeah, I love basketball.
Who's your favorite?
I'm a Celtics fan, so I was excited for Kyrie, and I'm like, you know, I am mad. I have his jersey, I have his shoes, and I'm so mad. Yeah, I love Marcus Smart. I think that's like, yeah. So.
50 seconds. Come in.
Yeah, it's hard for me to pick a player because I was a diehard Derrick Rose fan.
Yeah, I was a diehard Wade fan, so now I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah.
I like Steph. I like that's how you know it's
it's
also a compliment, but it's not like nobody like crazy.
Crazy, right? Yeah, that's how I feel.
It was Kobe, Wade, and then now it's like.
But I really like Quinn Cook just because I met him when he was playing at OKC.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who is he on? Lakers now? Quinn Cook is on the Lakers?
Quinn Cook, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. This is just
Yeah.
Disrespect.
Disrespect.
It's time for the entertainment report with Jeremiah.
Entertainment report time. Let's get it going. All right, man. Shout out to our guy Toby in Weekway. Continues to walk in the lane of legends. This time he was invited to perform at the NPR famed Tiny Desk. He appeared on the program with his wife and his brand new baby girl. In the 15-minute segment, he squeezed 5 tracks together as a medley. Houston Tribute, Cage Birds, Against the Grain, Shine, and I'm Dope were the songs performed. So shout out, man. I've seen him everywhere, man. He on BET or everything.
Any of y'all connected to him? Is anybody connected to him?
To Toby and Weekway.
Derek is.
Derek? Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
We just need some sort of connection.
Yeah.
We've talked to him a couple times online, but we need a connection.
Yeah. We would love to have him come through, man. Yeah. He's been doing his thing too.
Prop is too.
Prop? Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that.
All right, man. I guess one of the big news is Kanye dropping a gospel album. Kanye, Kim Kardashian released. Well, I think him too released a paper with some track listing on it, and it says September 27th, and the title on the top says Jesus is King. So people are like, is this, because remember we had the same thing about The Life of Pablo, and people thought that was because he was working with Curb.
We're going to get into it.
Yeah. So, but I would say that the song titles were songs like Water, Selah, God Is, Through the Valley, Sweet Jesus. So we don't know, man. So yeah, like you said, we're gonna talk about it a little bit more. Another thing too, man, a faith-based film, Overcomer. I don't know if y'all been seeing the advertising for it. Came in at number 3. It grossed over 8.2 million, over 1,700 theaters.
What's it called?
Overcomer is by the Kendrick brothers that did Facing the Giants and Courageous.
Who was in
and
this
stuff
one?
like that.
Because a lot of these faith-based films have had they've had people from This Is Us in it.
Oh really?
This Is Us.
Well, no, I don't think this one.
That was
Priscilla Chala was in this one. I'm trying to think of other people that were in it. It's probably just mostly local and people on that come up. But yeah, it came in, like I said, right behind. I mean, they said Angel Has Fallen hit number 1, Good Boys, and then it was number 3, and it finished ahead of The Lion King. So because The Lion King been in the theaters for a couple weeks, so but. Yeah, man.
That's what's up.
All right, man. Comment section. SO Augustine Legacy pre-order. Brandon P. Better late than never live. Aaron Cole. No by chance. Jeremy. Legends of Lotus Waiver 2. Toby Enwigwe. In My Bag single. Ruslan and Paul Russell Friends single. Beacon Light. Airplane Mode single. D Black Fear God single. K-Shot Day for Your Own single. Mowgli the Iceberg Open Wound single, and then On Beat Music and Koi Rise Grapes and Scars single. What you got, Ryan?
Yeah, shout out to the Nectar artists, man. Shout out to Offline PK and Jay Fish. They dropped Spaceman this week. Shout out to Heart of Isaiah. He dropped Divine Intervention. TC the Collector dropped Sensu Bean. And For Real dropped Lambo, man. So if you don't know already, make sure you go out to nectardistro.com. Sign up for Nectar distribution for your music. Over 150 digital outlets. We got you, all right?
Awesome. And plug it one more time for him.
Not by Chance, out now everywhere. Apple Music, Spotify, everywhere. Go get it right now. You feel me?
Oh, man.
All right, man. Let's get back into it. You in the field with the Trackstarz. Ryan Wright, Shantana, DJ Jeremiah. Let go. Do you know that we are a full-fledged media company and we're here?
DJ Tony Tone, what up, man?
Oh, that's what's up. Hey, what up, DJ Tony Tone?
People on here just send it to MC Nice too.
Oh yeah, shout out to MC Nice's birthday.
I said that already.
You did? Yeah. Well, I will send him another shot. From me.
So what time is the official? You guys are starting tonight.
7.
7.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, Alania's gonna be there. You going to the event tonight?
Yes. What's up? How are you?
Alania, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. What's up? How are you? Nice to meet you. What up, homie? Nice to meet you, man. What did you think on that project? Hey, appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. You said what?
I said I missed the ticket. I was like, girl, I got mine. You coming? She was like, it's sold out.
I tried to tell everybody. I was like, yo, get the ticket. Yeah, I added 10. Appreciate it. Yeah, that was good.
You have a super phone number?
No.
Somebody was asking for it.
What do you want me to do? Play another?
I'm sure familiar with this venue.
No, we come in.
What's the name of this venue for the night?
It's like,
How much did you continue to sell the Access Twitter joint?
You said, do I continue to sell?
Yeah.
BEDWTH Studio.
But no. I guess they do a good job explaining.
Are you familiar with that venue?
Davis Avenue. BNDWTH Studios. So on Davis Avenue.
Atlanta?
Wow. Cause I remember you got like major people on that joint too.
Oh, that's over here.
Yeah, man.
30344. That's us.
Yes, 10 minutes from here.
It's 10 minutes from here?
Yeah.
Where is it though? I don't know.
No idea.
That must be a new venue. But it's Aaron's venue? Is she or
Yeah, Aaron put it together.
wow.
It's not her venue, but
Yeah.
Right.
But she has like a list of
she has
venues
connections.
that
She got so many good
Yeah, she
venues
has
on
good
town.
connects.
She found some great stuff there.
Yeah. Are y'all coming? Are y'all coming back for A3C?
Yeah.
Oh,
Y'all are? Huh? Performing? What are you performing? Is it a showcase?
Aaron show.
Oh, the Aaron show?
Yeah, Aaron. No, I'm saying like Aaron.
Oh,
Knight
Aaron.
Show.
Aaron Knight Show.
Got you. Okay.
BNDWTH Studio.
DJ Tony Tone asked about the.
I'm texting him now.
Oh, okay. All right, here we go. We're coming in.
You know what it is, man. I'm in the field with the Trackstarz.
Yeah, back in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Wright to Shantana, DJ Jeremiah was good.
All right, for all things Trackstarz, visit www.trackstarswiththez.com. Follow us on Instagram at Trackstarz, Twitter at Trackstarz, like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and download the app.
All right, so if you haven't heard, Kim Kardashian, I guess Kanye did too, I haven't seen it, but posted a new album coming out September 27th or something like that. Oh, Jesus is King.
Yeah.
So people are speculating. I saw Rapzilla post about it, trying to figure out, is this going to be a legit gospel album? Because people thought Life of Pablo was going to be, it had like elements, but it wasn't like a full on. What do you guys think? Are you excited about this? Is this a good sign? Is this just pandering? Like where are we at with Kanye now?
So for me, I'm a little bit excited about it, right? Like when I was reading the different articles that talked about it, I was like, man, he started a Bible study out of his home. You know, they've been doing it consistently on Sundays. Kim talked about it on the television show. If they are really coming to a relationship with Christ like that, that's amazing. That's beautiful. I think it's wonderful. So if that's what it's really coming to, and these are some elements that they're adding to it, then I think that's great.
So is Sunday service what makes you think this is different?
No, so it's just the fact that, like, I was reading an article where Kim was saying that Kanye had came home about a year ago and was like, man, I really want to start a church. And then she was just like encouraging him to, well, you know, before you start a church, you know, test this thing out, do Bible study first. And he started doing it with family and friends and things of that nature. And for me, these are all kind of like stepping stones to the faith. Like, if this is what he's using to get to a point where he's got a full authentic relationship with Christ. The other thing I saw too was it The Life of Pablo? That was it?
Which one?
The last album he did, where he called it a gospel album or something.
Oh,
like
it was
that.
The Life of Pablo.
Yeah, so she was saying that he had a lot of vulgarity in it and he used curse words, and she said in this project it won't be any of that.
Who said that?
That's what Kim said.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where'd you see that at?
I was reading the article earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, and so when she said that, I was just like, okay, so he's changing how this is going to go, right? If that's the case, that's cool. I think that's I would say anybody who's doubtful of it or skeptical about it, be prayerful of it, because if this is something that we can use to help him understand, because he has been broken for a very long time, and he said that in his article as well, that he's looking for something, right? He's looking for some healing. So
okay,
yeah.
You know what's so funny? Like I can hear the Christian rapping guys like, they got the Ryan. They got the Ryan.
Nah, because you know there's still controversy about that other guy.
Snoop?
Nah.
Oh.
What other guy?
Not by chance?
Yeah. I'm struggling there.
He's struggling with Chance?
I'm struggling there, yeah. What are your thoughts about it?
I don't know what guy you talking about. I
know.
Yeah. I'm talking about Chance the Rapper.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I watched some interviews and he was just talking about like every album he's done has like just showed where he's been at in his life.
Yeah.
And so he started like, he was like, oh, with 10 days, I got suspended for 10 days. So I made a project called 10 Days about just what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Then he was like, with acid rap, he was like, he went far left and started doing acid. So that's what he was on. And then he said he came back, he realized he started tripping, came back around and, you know, started, you know, seeking God and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And, so we made Coloring Book, you know, the Mad Christian one. And then he said he had started tripping again. and like his wife, like, you know, he was, you know, having sex with his wife and stuff like that, and his wife was like, nah, like, I don't feel good about this. Like, she went celibate on him. Well, it wasn't his wife at the time. It wasn't his wife at the time, but, you know, she went celibate on him. And then he was like, all right, bet. So he was single, whatever, trying to do single dad, whatever. Then he came back and gave his, you know, started, you know, reading again, da-da-da-da-da. That's when he got married. So he made a project about getting married. Okay. So, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I can respect someone that does music by where they're at because that's how I do music, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like he does have a genuine, like, relationship with God. I just feel like he's still trying to figure it out, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, I don't know.
So is our barrier for entry cursing? Because it sounds like your excitement is that he's not going to be cursing. But what if he's the same exact person?
Sean is still hurt.
Sean still hurt about what you heard?
Sean still hurt about Kanye. He's still looking at. He's still like Home Improvement, looking over the fence like
the political stuff.
No, I don't know what he's talking about. What do you mean?
No, you was kind of upset with Kanye. You're like, man, I'm kind of backed off with Kanye. I don't know if it was the MAGA stuff.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't feel that way at all.
No, I'm talking about like before was you had a certain feeling about like you was like, man, I don't know, bro.
Now I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about. I guess for me, Kanye for a long time he's just crazy. I mean, it just seems crazy.
Or some people, I don't know if this is you, but I know some people still are mad about the whole not even Taylor Swift, the slavery comment, like slavery was a choice and all this other stuff. So
that was wild.
I've never been mad at Kanye. I'm fatigued by Kanye. You know what I mean? That's the only thing. But I would say, I don't know. I have no idea. Like, to me, if he makes this and then he pulls a Snoop and he goes right back to saying the same stuff, like, what's the difference? I do think we see cursing as like a like minimum bar for entry, and I think that's why you're so excited. Is that true?
I don't know if I call it. So I grew up in a household where no one ever cursed, right? So that was so foreign to me. And even when I hear it now, it's like, oh man, it really, really takes me back. And so for me, that's always been, I guess a sweet spot for me. It's like, if you don't curse, you know, that's a sweet spot for me. I can at least listen to you, right? That's my hardest issue when we were doing, you know, all these dissects and album reviews and listening to these other these projects that we were, you know, doing album reviews for. That was always the hardest part for me. It was like I would listen, and so this past time when we did the Chance album review, it was just like I was listening to a song, he was talking about God, and then all of a sudden he just goes crazy and spazzes out all these cuss words, and so that pulls me away, and it loses my focus and my attention. So, yeah, that was hard for me.
Somebody asked me, it may have been Ryan, or was it you, Jeremiah? You're like, are you going to take this seriously? Like, let's say it is a gospel album, and he does everything you would expect. What does that mean, take it seriously? I wondered if Jeremiah meant, if it's a worship album, are you going to let yourself go to a place of worship because of Kanye? Like, is there something weird about that? Where like you're letting yourself get to a place.
What would be the difference if, okay, prime example, if you go to a church and like maybe the person that's leading the song is doing crazy stuff too.
Smashing everybody in the choir, bro.
The congregation don't know, but people inside know, and it's
that's what I was about to say.
Yeah,
that's what I was about to say.
So why are people so nervous about this? Like, so when you worship God, where's the power coming from? Is it coming from the person? Is it the words of the song? Does the music not matter at all, and it's just really what's happening in your heart, and the music is just helping? Like, how do y'all see that process?
I feel like it's the spirit behind it.
Yes, somebody has to paint the picture, right? Like one of my favorite worship melodies is Alpha and Omega, Israel Houghton, right? And I always wondered when this stuff came out about him and, you know, getting divorced and all this kind of stuff. I was like, is this gonna affect me when I hear these words? Is this gonna be hard for me? And I know there's members on our team that feel that way, where they're not willing to give him a pass on that. And so it's like, sometimes that gets in my mind. But when I hear that song, I can still get to that place of worship, just blocking out who's singing it, right? But now that was one of my issues with Snoop, right? When I listened to that album for the first time, I was like, probably won't listen to this again.
So I guess the question is, what are you concerned about? Are you concerned that he slipped messages into his music that are not of God, and you're not Snoop or whoever you're worried about?
No. So my issue is always thinking about my kids first, right? So I know that I can't sit in the car and listen to Chance the Rapper and have that album play, and then my kids are in the back seat. So for me, that's what Christian hip hop is for me. It's like it's a lane for me to be able to find my worship, right? Find my worship in my place of peace, in my place of comfort, but also being able to entertain my children with things that I know are not gonna be a problem for me when they get out this car.
Are we still doing that? Why can't it just be like? And I ask this question because I feel like people always say Christian hip hop, and you always talk about youth groups, and it's like, why don't you just play the music in front of anybody? Like, it don't matter. I mean, what you just said was like, I listen to it for myself, but then for my kids, and I'm like, maybe it's just for anybody that get in the car. You know what I mean? So why it has to be just strictly for young people?
I'm saying for me to have my kids in the car, I can't listen to Chance the Rapper in the car.
No, I get that, but what I'm saying, I think what I'm saying is like, I've seen people before, like on television or online, and they got a song that's just mad vulgar, and they letting the kids listen to it. I'm thinking for us as a genre, just play music in general.
Yeah.
And
whenever somebody gets in my car, they hear Christian hip hop.
Okay, because I think
whenever somebody gets in my car.
Sometimes I think for us, and I've seen this, is like the pastor bringing a rapper, and he be like, okay, he's gonna do something great for the youth. It's like, nah, I'm here to speak to some adults too.
Nah,
you know what I mean? So I think sometimes they have that. But I would say this about Kanye. I would say if this is legit, like when I watch the clips from his Sunday service, he seems like he has he's happy. He seems like he's in a good place. So like I heard an interview with Snoop, and he said something about one of the reasons he did the gospel album was because his grandmother passed, and he was like, and he had a reflection on it, and he was like, for them years she could never say none of my lyrics in my album because it was just too vulgar, and I didn't like that. So I created this for her in her memory and stuff like that, which isn't bad, but at the same time, it's like what you said, and when you come out with another project, it's a totally different thing than what you were telling people before. Not saying now, I guess the question is, if Kanye does go back and do something else, and it still has kind of the Chance the Rapper thing with Christian themes in it, do we give him a pass, or do we be like, see, I told you he was just like what it is, you know what I mean?
I feel like we're putting way too much trust in any artist. I mean, no offense, but I mean, like, I'm not listening. I'm not listening to your album like, yo, Aaron, yes, that's it. That's exactly what I need.
But I feel like that's how we become idols to people.
Yeah,
it's like we become real idols to people, and like they put us on this pedestal when it's like, you don't understand that we go through like stuff ourselves, which is why certain, like, I feel like back in the day, I feel like in Christian hip hop, it was like if you did one thing that was sinful and people didn't agree with it, and then people found out about it, you was written off, like you was canceled. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why certain people, it's like, I feel like it's not relevant anymore, because back then people canceled and wrote them off because they made them that idol.
Yeah, it's to me, it's like, I honestly don't sit and listen to people's music often and then worship God. You know what I mean? Like, I usually, in my worship, I don't need music or anything else to be in that mood with God. So I'm not worried about, I don't need anybody else to get me to that place. You know what I'm saying? If music is on, I don't even need the words. Just the music in the background is all I would need. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess I don't understand the dependence on the person giving you music. What is that about?
I don't think people are dependent on Kanye. I think people are like,
some people are.
You think so?
I think some people are. I think some people are like, oh, Kanye is doing the Sunday service, I can watch this and get my little bit of God and be cool.
Really? Well, I think I would say that'd be dangerous for the believer, but for the non-believer, if that opens them up to a God, and to open their hearts up to God.
Which God, Jeremiah?
Jesus, and his cousin Jesus. But I think sometimes we put God in a box, man. I think sometimes we like, if he don't say Jesus enough, if he don't do this enough, if he don't do that, you know what I'm saying?
They do that to us.
You know what I mean? So I think. To me, I always say it like this. If somebody gets saved because of, like, they go to a Sunday service and was like, yo, I need to know more about God. I need to know more about Jesus.
It's true.
Then that's when the next step happens for that person, where they get saved, they find a legit church, somebody's discipling them. Once they get discipled, then they realize, hey, man, I can't do this no more. I can't do that no more. I can't do this no more. Not because it's not trying to be legalistic, but it's just based off what I'm reading in the scriptures. I can't do these things no more.
I want to do something real quick. I want to challenge everybody watching. Name a legit church. Name a legit pastor. I guarantee nobody can name anybody that another person won't be like, you don't know that he did such and such. You don't know that she did this. I'm starting to realize that there is no person.
Nobody's
that
perfect,
Christians, even if you think they are, there is no person that Christians will unanimously say, oh yeah, that's the one. Everybody has a problem with everybody. Name somebody you respect as a person in the Christian world.
Stephen Furtick.
Robbie Zachariah.
You said Robbie Zachariah? I like Robbie Zachariah too.
Give me somebody.
It's my pastor.
And you know what? Not only is somebody gonna say something crazy about them, but they're gonna judge you for following them.
Yeah.
Or just listening to him.
That's why you need an underground pastor. Like, who is he? I need to know more about him.
I'm just starting to realize, man, like we hate everybody. We don't like anybody.
Yeah. It's bad, bro.
Who is there that everybody's like, yep, that's the one. And this person isn't the one, this person is. There's no agreement on that. You can name Beth Moore.
Some people say Francis Chan.
I've heard crap about Francis Chan. I've heard stuff about Andy Stanley, Charles Stanley. I know stuff about that. I've been at that church.
Dang, man. Somebody said that probably. Dr. Tony Evans.
Nah, I've been there. I was there for like 10 years.
I was going there
so what I'm saying is like every single person that you think is amazing, somebody else thinks is trash. So it's like, what are we doing? Like, who's okay? Who's all right? I feel like everybody has their own standard.
Sometimes that's based off of hurt too. You know what I'm saying? So if I went to a church and I got hurt at that church, and you came to that church, and you're like, man, this is the best experience of my life, and I'm like, no, it ain't. It ain't for me. And it's like, well, that's your experience.
No. The person I'm talking about,
well, I know
that's a fact.
No, but what I'm saying is,
there's no disagreement on that.
I'm saying, I think for that, even using that for an example, is like, even after you left there.
Yeah, but there's new people that are meeting this person that we're referring to, and they think he's amazing.
Yeah, because they're changing his life.
They're wrong.
No, I mean, he's wrong. You could be wrong. But and this is going to sound weird to say, but God is still using that person to change that person's life.
But I think the ICTs, right?
Yeah.
You know what the ICT is? Internet Christian thugs, right?
Yeah.
The ones that go on your comments and like, Aaron ain't no Christian. Aaron
got enough Jesus in his music.
Those people, right?
He talk about his new girlfriend all the time.
What they're afraid of, even if you're saying Kanye could possibly lead them, they're afraid that he's lacing the gospel message with stuff that is going to destroy them, right? And there's no like system in place to take them from their initial excitement from a Sunday service to discipleship, and they're worried that the process is messed up.
I use this for example. I remember I bought, and this was like the early 2000s. I bought KRS-One Spiritual Minded album, right? And I don't know what happened, but I lost that album, and I can't remember if I gave it to somebody or whatever. But I remember this guy, because I think after the fact I started like reading the lyrics, or I started seeing what KRS-One was really about, and I was like, oh wow, he off the chain. Yeah. But somebody else was like, yo, this album's amazing. He's making me closer to God, and I'm like, why? I was just amazed of how sometimes, even as you being the mature Christian, you can see through stuff, whereas somebody else is like, I needed this for right now.
This comes down to something really, really, really deep theology-wise, and we have never really, really talked about it. But who are we trusting to lead these people to Jesus? Are we trusting Aaron? Are we trusting Kanye? Are we trusting Chance? Are we trusting Robbie Zacharias?
Yeah.
Are we trusting
us?
The Holy Spirit? I feel like we're worried that these people have the power to lead people astray out of the control of God. Like he has no say in the matter, right?
Yeah, I told Maya this week. I said, sometimes we as Christians look like Superman, but we really are Clark Kent. And then what I mean by that is, if Superman looked like he don't need no help, it looked like he could do everything himself, he has all the power, whatever. But Clark Kent needed Lois Lane. Clark Kent needed to have a job. Clark Kent needed different people in his life to help him to be who Clark Kent is. But I feel like sometimes as Christians, sometimes we feel like we got to do everything. It's like, no, we need to be Clark Kent. We need to know God has control. All we need to do is help that person and let God do the rest. You get what I mean? Trust the Holy Spirit in that person's life. And if you're there in that person's life and they still don't get it, you got to walk with them till they get it. You can't give up on people where it's like, man, he stumbled again, man. I can't. You know what I'm saying? Or even if you say, man, I can't mess with this guy, let me go talk to somebody else that can help this guy. Yeah. You get what I mean? And I think that's where we are like right now, even dealing with this subject we're talking about with Kanye. It's like we're scared. Either two things, honestly, this be real. It's two things that we're scared of. We're scared of that some people going to come to Jesus because of him, and then he come out with something else, and then they like, see, you can do whatever you want. Or the other side is, man, why they got to go to Kanye? You know, I just dropped that dope album. You know what I'm saying? Why they ain't going to come to me? I'm spitting that real Christian hip hop.
That's what happened.
That's what you're seeing too.
When Chance came out with that album, that's what happened. Everybody was like, oh, we've been talking about this, that, and the other. So.
So that's what you're dealing with those two matters of fact. They're both for scary situations, but I understand where people come from when they say, you know, he ain't a Christian, but why people listen to him, it's just like sometimes people, they have a track record with Kanye that they don't have a track record with you at all.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you ICT, right? You have absolutely no power whatsoever. You have to trust that whether somebody first hears about God through Kanye, and then God leads that person to a local church, and that person, he leads them there to a small group, and then from there, like, he has the power to lead them wherever he wants. You don't have to police how they get the information. You see what I'm saying? I think we feel like we have to intervene in that way. The intervening happens through prayer. Like, he's the one that could direct how they find out about it. It could be a Sunday service, it could be this Chance album, then it could be listening to Trackstarz, then it could be downloading Aaron's album, then it could be going to the church in their local community, then it could be like, you don't have to police that process.
We do limit God a lot.
So I'm just wondering, like, I'm not worried about what Kanye's doing, whether he does something good and we all think is great, or whether he does something that we think is terrible. It has no bearing on what I pray for, what God can do. Like, why are you so worried about it?
And I think the concern should be if Kanye is actually getting something out of this, right? Like, if he's actually getting a relationship with Christ and he's getting closer to God, like, that's what I'm hoping
pray for him.
That's my hope, is that if this is a great way for him to show the masses that God is real and that God is coming into someone's life that has so much influence already, has so much, power and whatever they want already. And then God can still touch their hearts and bring them back.
It's the same temptations we were talking to Aaron about, right? Kanye has the same ones, probably times 20, right? I got to prove to these people that I could rap, even if I write it or not. I got to prove to these people that, you know what I'm saying, I could still produce, whether, I'm still doing that or not. I still got to prove to everybody that I got, like, I could still say crazy stuff on a record. He's being tempted to do that, even probably on this album. To sneak a little something in there to make it seem more edgy or whatever. So,
and what's even worse for him is the company that he keeps. All the people that are around him, all the people of that are in the world that are doing things that try to pull him into that light. So it's a lot that he has to deal with.
I'd be interested in seeing, like, if he, like you kind of just said jokingly about the whole writing piece, like, because I mean, people know that he what's the name, writes some stuff on Sci-Hi, and then you have some other people. But I'm just thinking about how would he write it from a perspective of non-cursing and then still making it sound like, yo, this is stuff. You know what I mean? Or maybe Mace been writing for him. You never know.
You in the field with the Trackstarz. Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.
You are listening to the Trackstarz with Sean Tanner, Ryan Righteous, and DJ Jeremiah.
Right now, you're in the field with the Trackstarz.
Trackstarz.
Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, and DJ Jeremiah.
Right now, you listening to the Trackstarz.
You know what time it is.
Hey yo, what's good? It's your boy Name Gay, he Trackstarz music artist, and you are in the field with the family Trackstarz Radio.
about me right now, son. Pop, slide back. Pop, slide back.
Oh man.
How many songs you want me to play?
What time is it?
Is it
Do one more.
I have to leave at line for line so I can make it back to the house. So, Aaron, what you think? What do you think about? I can't really say this. It's not even a question for you. It's a question for anybody. What do you think happens if? What do you think happens if Kanye authentically does come out with this album? His heart has changed, and then he wants to embrace the music that we've been making for all this time. Like, what do you think happens then?
I don't think it will happen.
You don't think it will happen?
I think because I think like you look at NF.
Yeah.
NF is beating out Chance the Rapper.
Oh yeah.
And still no one over there is embracing him.
Right. Right.
I feel like just the gospel is offensive. Period. So it's like I feel like
it's offensive.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like people are just gonna continue to be like, oh yeah, you're over here the Christian rappers, like whatever. I feel like Kanye, if he does that, he's gonna stay in his lane and do that. He's still gonna keep it rapping.
How would we feel if Lecrae's on the album?
I don't care what that means.
What if Lecrae and NF is on a project?
On Kanye's project?
On Kanye and F.
Yeah.
Who is going to be on this? Is it going to be a Snoop situation where he pulls in a bunch of gospel artists, or is this going to be him rapping? Or is it just going to be Sunday service, like this new songs, Sunday service?
Sunday service, yeah. I'm guessing. I mean, in the Valley joint, I think people know that church sells. I don't think we think it sells, but I think they know just the experience of church. Unfortunately, you can sell that.
Yeah, but it's just hard because Kanye's MO is say the craziest stuff. Like if you would have taken Kanye off of Life of Pablo, it would have been like amazing.
Yeah. His
every time he
stupid.
started rapping, it was like, what are you talking about, dude? Like this.
Like
is
Father
so
Stretch My Hands Cook
that
is one of
joint
the
is
most
crazy.
amazing. When I first heard that, I
And then
almost
he
lifted
come
my
on
hands
talking
up in the
about
sky,
bleach.
like just worshiping God, because that song's amazing.
What
But then he
is
started
possible?
rapping. I'm like, come on, my G, what are you talking about, dude?
It was like wild.
If you just pull him off of all those songs, to me, that's one of his best. It might be his best album. Period. Sound wise, that one sounds amazing.
Over College Dropout.
Yes.
You know what
It
people
sounds
always
like
talk
a
about My Dark
mature
Twisted
version of
Fantasy?
that. My Dark Twisted was really good.
Everybody like, yo, that album's amazing.
Is that the one with
All of the lights?
Yeah,
that one was really good too. But to me, this sounds like a better version of that.
Yeah.
Like but his rapping on there is so dumb. It's so it's unnecessary.
Where do you see us being 5 years from now?
Depends on what we do. Like if we work together, we stick together. Like I'm talking about all of us artists.
Yeah.
I feel like this new generation can push can grow.
Do you feel a lot of pressure, like with being the authentic Christian hip hop artist that's signed to CCM?
Yeah, I think so.
You feel a lot of pressure on that?
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot of pressure to hold on this ear. Yo, what's up? I didn't get it talking to you.
Where y'all from?
I get it. I'm on
Shout out
Trackstarz
where
though.
y'all
I'm on
from.
Trackstarz though.
Everyone say what's up?
Where y'all watching from? Make sure y'all share the link too.
I didn't get no call, yo. What's up?
I think the track record, secular artists going doing Christian and all this stuff. I think the track record.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Nah, I
Like
mean,
Mace
everyone's
was my guy in the
hitting me
world.
now, right?
Mace was my guy in the world.
Yeah.
I got saved, and so hyped that he came to preach and all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's gonna be ugly. It was like, he's back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So many after him.
Yeah.
You can't think of
Like
most.
15 seconds.
The only one's been true is Mouse.
Yeah, Mouse.
He's
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Mouse.
only one been solid.
Yeah.
Are y'all ready?
Gemstones, too.
Yeah, Gemstones too.
All right, let me meet you right back. I'm about to go live.
Fernie, and you're listening to the Trackstarz. You in the field with them. Dang.
Yeah, back in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Shantana, DJ Jeremiah was good.
All right, for Nectar distribution, make sure you go to www.nectardistro.com. We have direct deals with Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, Pandora, you name it. You have an opportunity to get your music out there. Also, you can become a part of Trackstarz Nectar Elite, and you can actually advertise your project as well as have distribution, or vice versa. Make sure you check out trackstarz.com with the Z for all things Trackstarz. All right.
All right. I almost forgot what we were talking about. All right. So we hinted at this last week. We didn't really get into it. But this whole Popeyes Chick-fil-A thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody tasted the chicken
Yes.
from Popeyes?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
It's good?
It's straight. I mean, I still take Chick-fil-A.
Oh, really? So you got
So,
Chick-fil-A?
the only thing that's different is that I've been eating Chick-fil-A sandwiches for the last 20 years, right?
Dang.
So that's the problem. Like, this was new. So I have to put them side by side and take a bite of one and take a bite of the other for me to be able to really tell you which one I'm choosing.
You didn't get it either.
No, man.
I
People
didn't get it
been
either.
It's out.
cars. Yeah, I mean they done.
So what we're discussing today, and I saw what's his name, Kevin
Kevin the Corner.
Kev on stage.
Kev on
Kevin
stage.
stage.
Yeah.
Kevin the Corner.
What's
Shut
interesting,
up.
you actually came up with this topic, and then I saw him say basically the same thing you were going to say. But so they announced that they're stopping the chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Couldn't handle the demand. They ran out of chicken.
Yeah.
Right. All right.
It's a metaphor.
So what Jeremiah, because he wasn't on the call this week, and he texted us and said, we could use that as when God blesses you, are
Yeah.
you prepared for it? Right.
Yeah.
Because they clearly weren't.
Yeah.
All right. And how do you think do you feel like you're prepared if God really were to dump a ton of success on you, especially you? If this joint blows like crazy, are you ready for that amount of attention if he gave it to you?
I think if you asked me that a couple years ago, I'd be like, no. I think right now.
Would you have said yes and just been wrong? you think you would have known that you weren't ready?
Oh, no, yeah, you're right. I probably wouldn't
Yeah.
have known I wasn't ready a couple
Yeah.
years ago. But like looking at that, no. I feel like just the people that I have around me right now, I think that's what it is, like community. I feel like right now everybody would check me in a heartbeat if I'm like, wasn't ready for it, if that makes sense.
How bananas is that though? Like imagine just from when we first met you, and then let's say you were on TMZ and you're on Good Morning America and you're on all these shows and and all this attention, like that's got to be like debilitating. Like all of a sudden every word you say, everything you post, is all under the microscope.
You know, the fear that I've always had is and I know this never happened for me, so I thank God for this, is that
Thanks, Ryan.
No,
Trackstarz.
in this way.
They ain't gonna never happen for us.
In this way, I would hate the day that I run out of sugar at home and it takes me 2 hours to get that sugar and get back home because I had to stop and sign autographs and do things like. I thought about that with Jay-Z. I was like, yo, he can't go out and get a pack of sugar if he runs out. Like, why would he need to really? But
how often do you buy sugar? Like, is that a
he
big
can
part
buy,
of it?
but he can
I
also
make sweet tea, so
but he can also hire an assistant
like
to just go get that drink.
you right. But if you would just say one day, I just want to get up and go to the grocery store.
I mean, put a hoodie on.
Can't do that.
I can put a hoodie on. I can put a hoodie on. Nobody see you, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you're right. No, Jay-Z, no.
Yeah.
You ain't getting nowhere.
But
with
I just don't want to go to that day. Like I remember we had Social Club on the show and they said that they don't leave the venue until they've signed all autographs, right? Like that's got to be crazy, right?
I do, I
you do that too?
Yeah.
So you literally stay. So how long after the show ends does it take you to do that?
It's not going. You can't do that forever.
It depends on the show.
Yeah.
You can't do that forever.
Okay.
Yeah, not for forever.
Yeah.
Because we used to say that too. Like I'm gonna read every single comment. I'm gonna
'Cause I
reply to
feel-
every, and it's like it's not possible.
Right.
Yeah,
Because I feel like at some point when you cut it off, you're saying, oh man, but what if there was one more person that really needed to say something to me, or what if there's one more person I need to pray with? Or
Yeah, that's
something.
why now it's like now I feel like now I can't do that. Where
Yeah.
I just stay after. It's like I'm touching everybody just because I don't want one person to be like, oh yeah, I got the media and I didn't, and they both paid the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
But I saw a show you did like this is just a couple of weeks ago, and the crowd was completely full. So,
but some people don't like waiting in lines.
Okay.
And so they just bounce. They don't, they don't do it. So it's like it just depends on those ones that stay. I feel like if you're one that stays in a line, it's like I'm gonna stay for you. But
is it some shows where that's not even an option? I'm not trying to get off the
I don't
subject.
Think so. Nah, I can always set up. But it's like I said, it's just sometimes it's like people will see a long line, and then like the rest of the people just leave, and it's just like okay, I don't have that many anymore.
So here's the problem with Popeyes. Everybody knows that Popeyes' character wasn't good. Right? the serving staff. Trash, right? They've been running out of chicken.
There goes our sponsor.
This ain't new. This ain't new. Popeye's been running out of chicken. When this blessing just fell on them, right? What it did was it exposed their character.
Yeah.
We already knew their character, but now it's like on blast.
You
run out of chicken.
Yeah.
You running out of chicken.
Yeah.
You got bad people got bad like customer service, right?
That's good.
Like when you roll up to the window versus like a like welcome and my pleasure, you get what's up, what you need, right? Like it's just the character was different.
Go ahead.
Yeah, what he had.
Speak up. So it's like the character was already there.
Yeah.
And all this deal was expose it. And I think that's a warning to anybody who is on this path. Like whatever you are now, everybody's gonna see all of it.
Right.
All the secret stuff is gonna be exposed.
Right.
And the blessing actually could be punishment. Yeah. God may be like, I'm done with you. I've been giving you time to get your life right.
Have grace
I'm gonna give you
Don't
everything you asked for. I'm gonna give you everything you asked for, and it's gonna ruin you.
Yeah.
I don't want that, God. Repeat that in the name of Jesus.
No, but I think even what you're saying is if you really think about it, like I think about those memes of one meme was the lady that worked there with her head down and people were commenting on that, and then the other meme like it was like a gif or like a short clip where employees were walking out like, get that camera out my face, and it was like those things that I think people knew about that. I think we knew about that in our community about how Popeyes was. But
them biscuits, man.
But yeah, the biscuits is straight.
Yeah.
But like I remember, it was so funny. After the show one time, and we was going home, and my she got it so bad. I was like, I'm about to go hit this Popeye. This was before the chicken sandwiches out. And I was going to the drive-through, and the customer service was so bad, and she was like, "See, I told you." I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, we paying her money, and she acting like she got an attitude. And she was just like getting mad, and Maya was getting mad. And she was like, we ain't never come back in. I was like, but you not getting no food. What are you talking about? Right. So I think another thing too is, and this is good what you're saying, they had preparation time because this sandwich been out for a minute.
Yeah, but they didn't know.
They didn't know this was going to happen off a tweet.
When Chick-fil-A responded to them, I almost wonder like, they probably were like, I know they ain't got enough chicken for this.
Yeah.
I know they don't have enough chicken. So let me blow this up real quick and put them out because they can't handle this.
Yeah. So it was just that. I mean, I know you saw the sign where Chick-fil-A said we don't run out of chicken sandwich, and then they responded
I think that was the one on
we don't close on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing though. It's just like even in your preparation time, you think that you got it all together. I'm thinking about Christian rap artists and people that listen to our show and creatives. You think you got it all together because you've been grinding for so many years. But when that instant success hits you and your character is bad, like you just said, that just blows you up. So now you can't even take the blessing because the blessing is the God is giving you the clientele to sell your shirts or sell your music or sell whatever you're selling. But your character, people looking at you like, dang, dude, you mad? Like, we just trying to get something from you. Like, nah, I don't want that. And it's like, now you just seeing it unfold to the point where it's like, okay, we don't sell that no more. We going to come back. We going to re-up. But then who's to know by the time you re-up, people going to be like, it was good, but I ain't going to go through that again. I'm not going to wait in line.
But Chick-fil-A got this mac and cheese now. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what you got? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to me, this was like an expert case study in corporate culture.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A's corporate culture is so solid that they were like, okay, you got something hot right now.
Yeah.
We're going to slide out this little mac and cheese real quick.
Yeah.
And now it's like, you're gone. You're done.
Yeah.
All you did was boost us now because now we unveiled this new product. We're prepared for it. We're ready for it.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
And now you're not even a competition anymore at all. Because if they bring it back, what they gonna do different?
Yeah. I mean, you still have people like me that didn't taste it yet, so you probably may have to, but it ain't gonna have that same rush line once it comes back.
And you still got the same employees?
Yeah.
What are they gonna do about that?
The funny thing about it is that you talk about the culture of Chick-fil-A, right?
Shout out to Popeye's employees. I don't
funny. The funny thing that there's so much to weigh out on this situation, even with just customer service, period. Every time I go to Chick-fil-A, there is a line. Every time I'm wrapped around the building, but I'm still out within 5 minutes. And I can go like literally to Popeye's and I could be sitting there and they hadn't even taken my order in 5 minutes, right? So it's night and day comparison about the customer service that you get, and that goes a long way. It's so funny. The Chick-fil-A by my house, they always tell me to have a blessed day. So one day I rolled the window down. I was like, hey, let me ask you a question. I was like, are you saying that because you want me to have a blessed day, or are you encouraged to tell me that? They were like, no, we're encouraged to tell you that. And I was like, all right, that's another check, right? Because you never know. Somebody could be having a terrible day, and then you tell them to have a blessed day. That's just another notch for them to, find a good way to have customer service.
I think the funniest thing is that all these Christian comedians are like pitting it like it's a Christian versus atheist thing. This dude on Twitter was like, all right, your move, atheist. We got this mac and cheese now. Your move.
Did you see Roy Wood Jr. where he had all the chicken sandwiches together?
That was
and he was like talking to Chick-fil-A, and he was like, yeah, you would know that if you weren't hating on the other population. And then he's like, what did you say to me? He was like, you heard me. I was hating on the other population. It's hilarious, bro. Like, so funny the way they've been doing that.
Yeah. So I mean, if you've tasted it, let us know if it was worth all the hype. I would love to taste it one day. We'll see. We'll see. This might be like the McRib where they bring it out every now and then. They got to staff up for the Christmas season.
right.
Wanted seasonal staff.
Right.
But do you think that like, do you think Chick-fil-A was worried? Because I think people was like, especially Christian was like, oh snap! Chick-fil-A they don't got the chick saying, but I think
dethroned.
No, you shouldn't be worried. Like you know who you serve.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
No, I think there's a couple of reasons why Chick-fil-A wasn't worried.
Chick-fil-A like that girl, like go ahead with your little chicken sandwich. Y'all be alright with your little thing.
I think there's a couple of reasons why. Because one, for so many years you haven't had competition. Why is it just gonna creep up out of nowhere?
Well, here's the deal. I mean,
Popeyes had a hot girl song.
Have you guys seen the it's called The Founder, I believe. It's the McDonald's.
Oh yeah.
You realize it's not about the actual sandwich. It has nothing to do with that. It's the process. It's a supply chain issue. If you don't have a good supply chain, this is industrial engineering. It's more real estate and supply chain than it is food. Food is like the last thing that matters in restaurant.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A's process is unbeatable.
Yeah.
So they have no reason to be worried because you may have a hot product for a second, but people ain't gonna eat that chicken every single day for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
They're gonna get tired of it.
Yeah.
The process that Chick-fil-A has is unbeatable. They've mastered that. And Popeyes has not.
Yeah.
Clearly.
The Blessing Report said there's sandwiches on the West End. Trackstarz.
We're gonna put a map with pins on it. The chicken sandwich is still available. All right, man. Let's get back into it. You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.
What's up, everybody? This is Jason Bordeaux, the host of the Business with Bordeaux podcast. Are you interested in business and entrepreneurship? Are you a future leader of tomorrow? If so, don't forget to go check out the Business with Bordeaux podcast, where we have wonderful stories and inspiration from Kelly Cole, Doc Watson, Thomas Terry from Humble Beast, and many, many more. Go subscribe today to the Business with Bordeaux podcast, where you'll be able to take your career, your side hustle, and your journey to the next step. Go and subscribe today.
That throwback song of the day.
Yo, this one is going throughout the land for everybody who feel like life done dealt you a bad hand. This one here is for all you mamas who got mad drama, and all you brothers who occupation is a struggler. And for all you young heads who trying to get ahead, don't give up. Hold on. God cares. Track the bomb diggy, mad heads like Kawizzy. BBJ That fat cat for Bum City, I'm a Don too. Not like the rest, I suggest to analyze my source of success. Yo, we too blessed to be stressed, dog. Recognize I'm pro-Christ, a faux Christ. Yo, recognize my dome is full of wise things. Careers are over, Jehovah make me shine like.
Because they had a lot of Christian themes to it to me.
That's kind of like he was saying, like 3-year-old birthday party.
Oh yeah, by the time it's over, we'll be dead.
I mean, it's that I told everybody I'm gonna be chilling with everybody anyway.
Why would you wait a minute? Why would you burn your wife?
We are the go to. Is this line to line?
There. Catch up with you, bro.
You up?
Have a good one. Yeah, man. It's his birthday party.
All right, bet.
Y'all have a good one.
Enjoy, man.
Thank you.
You want to take the score, Kev?
Yeah.
Kev in the corner gonna take the
You
score.
work this too? Yeah. This one, right? Yeah.
Tell everybody say what's up, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Love you, bro.
You want to come? No? One of you guys want to come up?
Okay, so only 2 of the chicken sandwiches have sold on eBay. One sold for $4.25 and one has sold for $7.50.
How much is it?
It's like $3, right?
But the question is, let's say that person's in California.
They can mail it.
Right. But now
Why would you?
there's people selling them. There's people selling them for $350, $150, $135. Nobody's buying them though.
I was saying it's not fresh anymore.
Somebody's selling them to eat it the real way, especially if you never had it before.
I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get the lady from the commercial to take a bite, then I'm gonna sell that movie.
Popeye's chicken.
Whatever.
You know the tired worker, she responded to the meme that everybody was talking about. Like, she said she already feels dehumanized every day. She doesn't make enough, and then they're gonna dehumanize her by
Well,
making
that's
her
the thing.
mean.
Popeyes let their employees down. Like, they should have had something in place. Like, can you imagine getting to work and all day is it's like lunchtime? The whole day is lunchtime? That's crazy.
They need to give them a bonus or something.
He said, then there's another meme where her talking to a guy from Chick-fil-A, like, hey, you wanna?
You just work for us, you get Sundays off. I saw that and go to church.
That's fine.
Do y'all think that's good, though? Do you think that's good? Do y'all think?
It's
No,
not
this
a
is
borderline.
Jay. Do y'all think it's a good thing that people go back and forth online, though? Companies? Because to me, it looks unprofessional.
It does a little bit, but it's hilarious.
It's cool.
Like Wendy's
Who's
is
the
off
most
the
savage?
Wendy's
Is Wendy's
off
the most savage?
Yeah, Wendy's off the chain.
One
They
of
did
them
this
I know
album.
I think it's Wendy's.
I
They're
think
savage.
Wendy's is savage.
Whoever that is doing that.
They started it because nobody else was trying to go back and forth.
Yeah.
Wendy's started that.
No, yeah, it's cool.
Hilarious, man.
For our generation,
That's perfect.
that gets them to want.
Somebody, I remember, I think Rick was like, "Yo, y'all heard Wendy's this album?" I was like, "I'm not listening to this album." No, they like somebody from Wendy's, like the girl name was Wendy's, and she was like talking about how McDonald's machine always broke down, the ice cream machine was broke, and all this other stuff. So it was crazy.
What's the worst fast food chain?
McDonald's.
You think McDonald's?
Oh, you
is
talking
that
about food or what we talking about? The whole
Fast
thing.
food.
Burger King.
I think it's Burger King.
Yeah, I tried that.
Burger King is
Ultimate
good.
Whopper. It was terrible.
Oh,
Really? You didn't like
It
that?
was the no meat Whopper.
Oh, really? I actually
I
like
gave
that.
it meat, so I was like excited to try it.
They said it tastes like a Whopper. It don't taste like
Tastes like a grease ball. They cook it on the same grill.
And they selling tacos now too.
Yeah, why are they
Talking
selling
about
tacos?
I saw me about that too. Like Burger King sell tacos, you could do anything.
We beating on your block. Trackstarz, yeah. I'm repping the most high king like mama, I made it. Trackstarz bringing the real, you love it or hate it. Line for line with the kingdom, the secular faded. Yo, what's going on? This your man right here, DJ I Rock Jesus. You're right in the field with my peoples, Trackstarz. And you know what? Get ready for line for line.
Yeah, back in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Make sure you go to trackstarz.com for all the latest. Go to nectar.trackstarz.com if you want to distribute or promote your music. We got a lot of cool stuff going on. Aaron Cole in the building still. What you got, Jeremiah? Ryan had to step out for a second.
Yeah, man.
His daughter's birthday.
Yeah, man. Shout out to them, man. We love them. Man, okay, so let me give y'all a backstory. I kind of talked about this last week if you listened to the show last week. It's kind of a fantasy battle, you know what I mean? So I was talking to this young man. His name is Jordan Ramble?
Yeah.
And we had that's when the time that list came up. Y'all remember the list came out with all them rappers and all that stuff. People was talking. And we had a conversation, and I was like, I tweeted out, I said, why do people keep, like, Biggie, disrespecting Biggie? And we had a conversation. And he said, yo, you know, Biggie ain't better than Kendrick, Cole, or Drake, or T-Pain. I was like, T-Pain? What are you talking about? And he was like, and he ain't even better than Lecrae. And I was like, line for line, baby. So today we will be doing Biggie versus Lecrae, a fantasy battle. Oh my God. This is going to be fun, man. We're going to have a lot of fun doing this.
B.I.G. Hey, wait a minute. You know what's funny is I almost wore my B.I.G. shirt today to Trackstarz, and I was like, nah, I ain't gonna wear it. I'm gonna represent Aaron Cole merch. Come to the show tonight, get some.
It's a dope hoodie too, man. All right, man. The views and opinions of Trackstarz Universe, not the views and opinions of the artist, the label, producer, and others. If this offends you and you feel like, man, y'all shouldn't be doing that, we tell you go press stop. If you never heard the mainstream artists and think about checking them out, man, go press that stop button. We try not to do the same artists over and over. If you're a person who only listens to Christian artists and this ain't your cup of tea, man, we got dope interviews, topics, noteworthy, dissects. Go check them out. Lecrae's not the Christian version of anybody. This is just a bit, folks. All right, so this is what we did. Some of these joints, it's kind of like the battle we did with Jackie Hill and Lauryn Hill, where some of them was more vibe, like the vibe of the songs kind of the same versus it exactly sound the same because, of course, Biggie's more of an East Coast boom bap R&B artist type thing. Lecrae's more down south trap a little bit. So I try to match up the best ones we can. So we're going to start off with Biggie. This is one of his first, well, ain't no first single, but this is one of his popular singles. It's called Juicy. Here we go.
From a common thief to up close and personal with Robin Leach. And I'm far from cheap. I smoke skunk with my peeps all day. Spread love, it's the Brooklyn way. The Moet and Alizé, Key and Sissy. Girls used to diss me. Now they write letters cause they miss me. I never thought it could happen, this rapping stuff. I was too used to packing gats and stuff. Now honeys play me close like butter play toast. From the Mississippi down to the East Coast. Condos in Queens, indo for weeks. Sold out seats to hear Biggie Small speak.
All right, that was Juicy, Notorious B.I.G. This is Lecrae. Ha!
Turn my feet up, overdose mine. I don't need drugs, got the most high. Holy Ghost writer, to compose rhymes. Seeing got us blind, got a cloud on our mind. I'm illuminated, opening my eyes. Now the spirit showing me the word is alive. I was so low, now I'm so high. Regenerated mind telling me that I'm alive. And it's working, I'm so certain. Confident he created me for a purpose. Somewhere in between the jeans that y'all jerking. And them khakis that...
Hey, that was Ha, Lecrae, Juicy, Biggie. Who y'all going with?
What you got?
Biggie.
Biggie, what you got?
Biggie.
Biggie, what you got? Biggie, what you got? Biggie, what you got?
B.I.G.
Yeah, that's easy, Biggie. What you got? Oh, that's controversial?
No, I just said dang.
I thought that was pretty easy. What you got?
I got Biggie.
Biggie, what you got?
B.I.G.
Biggie.
That's a wash.
Biggie online.
1-0 going in the second round.
It's unfair. You may never know. Some stuff may happen. All right, so here we go. The first round went to Biggie. Biggie's up 1. Here's the second round. We're going to start off with... Did we start off with Lecrae last time?
No, we started Biggie.
All right, we're going to start with Lecrae. California Dreaming.
What up, Southeast? They gon' raise me to be a little beast. Caught a couple faves in the streets. Played on the beach. Playing records with my Uncle Keith. I hit a fam off for the beats. I roll it down Imperial. Old school in my stereo. From Skyline, you don't hear me though. I took a road trip to Long Beach. Hit the wrong street and they bang on you. But I'm good, I know Mosky. Got a cousin off of Wilmington and El Segundo. Yeah, that's Compton where it get hotter when the sun low. Visit Grace down in Southgate. Hey, good, thank God for my people in the hood.
That was California Dreamin', Lecrae, and then of course Biggie got to go back to Cali. Here we go.
Your lyrics just split ya, head so hard that your hat can't fit ya. Either I'm with you or against ya. Format bent ya, back through that maze I sent ya. Talking to the rap inventor. The game type fifth, that flame right. Spell my name right. B-I-double-G-I-E. Iced out, lights out, me and C the Leo. Getting for some chick he know. See, it's all about the cheddar. Nobody do it better. Going back to Cali, strictly for the weather. Women and the sticky green. No seat, please.
All right, that was going back to Cali. Notorious B.I.G. California Dreamin'. Cray, who y'all going with?
What you got?
Biggie.
Biggie, what you got?
Ooh, that was hard.
That was hard.
Yeah, because I can hear the change in the growth in Lecrae,
Yeah.
and even though I love that Biggie song, it kind of makes you pause for a second. So
I got you.
yeah, I'll go with Biggie on that.
Biggie, what you got?
I'm going to go with Lecrae.
Lecrae. Lecrae, okay. Lecrae, what you got? Biggie, what you got?
Big. I was praying for Cray. I was praying you picked a whack Big song. Big.
Listening to them back to back, I'm actually leaning to Lecrae. I'm leaning to Lecrae.
Okay.
Yeah. What you got?
I got Biggie.
Biggie, what you got?
He said that with no passion. I got Big. I actually like going back to Cali, but I think Cray did his thing, so I'll go with Lecrae on that one.
What's that?
That's 5-3 Biggie. So
Yeah, that,
Biggie won the
I mean, that
second
Cray
round.
verse was hard. But
Biggie.
I was praying you picked the whack Big.
All right, man. So what's this?
It's 2-Zip Biggie.
2-Zip Biggie. All right, here we go. This is B.I.G. One more chance.
First things first, I pop them. Freaks all the honeys, dummies, Playboy bunnies, those wanting money. Those the ones I like, cause they don't get Nathan. But unless it smells like sanitation, garbage, I turn like doorknobs. Heart throb never, black and ugly as ever. However, I stay Gucci down to the socks. Rings and watch filled with rocks. And my jam knocking the Mitsubishi. Girls pee-pee when they see me. Navajo creep me in they teepee. As I lay down laws like Island Coppet.
All right, that was One More Chance, the Notorious B.I.G. remix. This is Lecrae. All I need is you.
Me in my time zone when my mind's gone and I'm flying home and I'm stressed out and I'm tempted to get that styrofoam and go pull it up, but you know what's up and you know that ain't gonna solve nothing. I mean, Lord forbid I might fall or something. I'm all another cause. All I need is you. To hold me down like bitch straps to the psych ward. It's killing me, but you still with me when I fight hard. And you digging me when I'm egging you. Deal with me when my car's pulled. Could've dealt with me, but you fell for me before I fell for you. Keep me on that right path and the right math. It's you plus nothing's everything. You my everything. Sing.
All right, that was Lecrae. All I need is you. One More Chance. Biggie, who y'all going with?
Biggie, what you got?
I gotta go with Cray on that one because that's one of my favorites.
Lecrae, what you got? Big, what you got? Big, what you got?
What? Big.
Yeah, I got Biggie on that. I got Biggie on that. It's close though. I like the Lecrae song a lot, but yeah,
It's
One More
close?
Chance. Yeah, it's close.
One More Chance.
It's close. Yeah, sound wise, you gotta kill the nostalgia, like, cause I mean we know the Biggie song. Just listening to it, like if that came out now, it'll be close. What you got? Biggie, what you got?
He's like, quit playing with me.
Quit playing, man. Stop playing.
And I'm from Brooklyn too, so I mean. Hey.
Oh wow.
Oh, he biased a little bit.
Spread love the Brooklyn way.
What you got?
It's so funny that I be having mental blocks since I created this, but I would say I'm trying not to go to nostalgia because I automatically nostalgia would say One More Chance, but the Lecrae joint goes hard too to me. When I first heard that record and I was like, oh wow, this is fire, and then I'm seeing him doing it everywhere, so I'm like, I'll say I give it to Big.
Let's see. The problem is Biggie could spit. I don't think people realize
Right,
like
his flow is crazy.
I mean, he was
It's
just playing with
ridiculous.
words. Like it's
ridiculous.
easy. That's
Whoever said,
that
who
was
is Jordan Ramble?
that was the tiebreaker. You know what I mean? Like it's just like he's just better at rapping.
Yeah, but I think Lecrae still can spit. But
The song was close,
Yeah.
but the rapping was just like Biggie's just a genius.
Yeah. All right, what's the score?
So that's 7-1 Biggie. So it's 3-0 going into the fourth round.
Oh wow, we in the fourth round already?
Yeah.
All right, you know what? I'm just gonna play Biggie first, so y'all won't get into shot. All right, Biggie, hit.
Quicker than your average. Papa twist cabbage off instinct. Niggas don't think, stink pink gators. My Detroit players. Tim's for my hooligans in Brooklyn. Dead right, if they head right, Biggie there every night. Papa been smooth since days of under rules. Never lose, never choose to. Bruise, cruise, who? Do something to us. Talk, go through us. Girls want to us, wanna do us, screw us. Who us? Yeah, Papa and Puff. Close like Starsky and Hutch. Stick to clutch. Yeah, I squeeze 3 at your cherry M3.
Yeah, we done that though. We did 7 in Park. Thinking about doing Mace versus Mace, but yeah. All right, that was Hypnotized by Biggie. This is Nothing Lecrae.
Let me guess you count money to the ceiling. Difference between us like at least a couple million. It's foreign cars, pretty girls everywhere you go. Yeah, I heard it 30 times on the radio. Louboutin ain't gonna pay you for that bragging. And Donatella probably never heard your album. Yeah, they probably about to label me a hater, but I know these people greater than the songs they created. It's little homies in the hood regurgitate. And everybody watching thinking that you made it. The truth is for a few designer labels and a little bit of paper, now you 12 years slated. Hey, but you ain't Lupita, so
All right, that was Lecrae Nothing versus Hypnotized Biggie. Who y'all going with?
What you got?
Biggie.
What you got?
Don't let this thing get in trouble, man.
Nah, I'm just saying. Yo, let me say, shout out to Craig, you know what I'm saying? Craig, Craig just recently hit me up, you know what I'm saying? We cool. But come on, this is Biggie Smalls we're talking about, bro. It's not fair.
What you got?
Come back to me.
No,
because it's
against the rules.
like you're saying, like if you listen to it
Use your
now
toss.
and think about if it came out now versus back then.
What you got? 3, 2,
Toss.
1.
I toss.
Okay, what you got? Lecrae. What you got? Cray. What you got?
Big.
Okay, so I didn't necessarily like Hypnotized when it came out. Like I remember the video and the helicopters and all that. It just wasn't my favorite one, but it still sounded good, The Nothing with the 5 on this sample kind of helps it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna toss it. What you got? Biggie, what you got?
Just put Biggie won every time. I like Biggie too, but I take Cray on this one. I give Cray this one.
What's that?
Who'd you get? Biggie.
I got Biggie. Yeah.
Represent wolves and fiends and other wolves.
Big online.
Never lose.
It's 5-3 Biggie. We're going into the 5th round.
He just floats.
Flow is ridiculous.
He floats in his verse like it's effortless the way it connects.
Who's cool? All that is crazy, son. This is ridiculous.
All right, here we go. This is round 5. Sky's the limit, Biggie.
Something as broke as me. I like that. When I was young, I had 2 pair of leads. Besides that, the pinstripes and the gray. The one I wore on Mondays and Wednesdays. My flirt, I'm sewing tigers on my shirt and alligators. You want to see the inside? I see you later. Here come the drama. Oh, that's the with the fake. Wow. Why you punch me in my face? Stay in your place. Play your position. Here come my intuition. Go in this pocket. Rob him while his friends watching. And clock it. Here comes respect.
All right, here we go. Sky's the limit. That was Biggie. When you in the sky, you gotta get them blessings, Lecrae.
Could've lost it. Yeah, left him leaking like a faucet. Almost cost me. Everything that I got, all of my fam. Part of the plan. I was eating fried bologna out of the pan. Y'all don't understand. I was trying to get it. I'm in that studio trying to keep it pushing. Patty pies, boy, I kept them cooking. All I needed was the Mary, but the guy to me was having commentary. I got angels all around like I need a baker. Blessings falling in the line, guess I need a taper. And every loss is a lesson. Tell my haters I confess.
All right, that was Lecrae Blessing. Sky's the limit, Big. Who y'all going with?
What you got? Biggie, what you got?
Lecrae,
what you got? Lecrae, what you got? Big, what you got?
I'm gonna do a toss.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a toss. I'm not gonna be biased.
Okay. Yeah, I'm proud of you. Yeah, I think again, you gotta pretend. I wonder if there were some younger kids in here that never heard Biggie. You know what I mean? How would they feel?
Yeah.
Is there some things that we appreciate that maybe?
No, I feel like, bro, the flows and the rhyme scheme and everything is Biggie is saying is just ridiculous. And it's like, it's no comparison to me. It's like, if I heard that now, I feel like if Biggie came with that stuff now, it would be crazy. I feel like that's the difference between music back then. It's just like, it's timeless. Like me and her were talking about this, like music back then was just timeless. And I feel like playing this stuff now, I still feel the same way. Like I wasn't born when the junk was.
I wasn't out.
But as I go back and listen to it, it's like, man.
What year was this?
97.
Yeah.
I had 2 more years.
What?
He's born in 99.
That's
Can I grow up a little bit? He was like,
that's crazy.
I was 19 when I had it.
Wow. Okay. I'm actually give it to Lecrae. I thought Blessing sounded good. What you got? Okay. What you got?
Hey man.
That Brooklyn loyalty right over
Hey
there.
man,
the
he
Brooklyn
right.
way. Go ahead.
Right.
I'll give it Lecrae.
All right, what's that?
All right, wait, we need online. It's Lecrae online, so Lecrae got that.
Ooh.
Good job.
Lecrae.
Shout out Craig.
Got him. Got him.
Hey, I'm just
round
telling you,
6.
don't play the More Money, More Problems verse.
No, we're not putting that.
I was about to say, because it's
That's
over.
over with.
It's over with.
Y'all ready? I'll do Biggie first. Biggie.
All is dangerous. Ain't too many can bang with us. Straight up, no. Label us notorious. Thug us that love the bus. It's strange to us. Y'all be scrambling, gambling. I'm restaurants with mandolins and violins. We just sitting here trying to win, trying not to sin. High off oxygen. So much smoke need oxygen. Steadily counting them Benjamins. You should too if you knew what this game would do to you. Been in this since 92. Look at all the bullshit I've been through. So-called beef with you know who. A few female stars or two. Then a blue like.
That was Notorious Thugs, B.I.G. Here's Lecrae.
Yeah, do it for Christ. You trying to figure out what to do with your life. You make a lot of money, hope you're doing it right. Because the money is God, you better steward it right and stay focused. You ain't got no ride. Your life ain't wrapped up in what you drive. The clothes you wear, the job you work, the color of your skin, now you're Christian first. People get to living for a job. Make a little money, start living for a car. Get them a wife, a house, kids, and a dog. When they retire, they're living high on the hole. But guess what? They didn't ever really live it all. To live is Christ, and that's Paul. I recall. To die is gain, so for Christ we give it all. He's the treasure you can never find in them all. See your money, your singleness, marriage, talent, your time.
All right, that was Don't Waste Your Life, Lecrae. Notorious Thugs, B.I.G. I think this is pretty much it. All right, y'all go.
What you
I'll
got?
toss it.
Toss.
Yeah.
Okay. What you got?
Lecrae.
Lecrae, what you got? Lecrae, what you got? Cray, what you got?
Cray.
I didn't expect that, first of all. I think hearing it like this was hard because I remember Notorious Thugs and I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. But I think both of their like stepping into the rapping fast pool wasn't as clean hearing it this way. Both of them. It was both a little kind of, it was like, okay, yeah, you trying. It's close.
You trying.
Because I mean, Biggie, like that was impressive when we heard Biggie.
Oh yeah, when we first heard it, yeah.
Snap.
Because Bone Thugs was on it, you didn't know what he was going to do.
But hearing it like this little piece, it's like it's alright. It's straight. He did okay. Lecrae actually went a little faster than Biggie.
Yeah, he did.
But this is tough, man. Because I couldn't tell if we just have a bad line, but his didn't sound as clean, mixing wise.
Oh wow!
So I don't know. I don't know if I should judge it off of that. Yeah,
I mean, that was Rebel Days. So.
Yeah.
You think it was just the actual mix? I don't remember it being that off.
Oh really?
I'd have to hear it again. I'm been dangerous. Ain't too many can bang with it straight up. I'm gonna give it to Biggie, man. I thought Lecrae did good, but I got Biggie. What you got? Really?
Proud of you.
Because that's my favorite, one of my favorite Lecrae songs. And you know what I mean? I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
What you got? I'm gonna go with Cray. Even though I when I first heard that beat, I mean I remember being in my house and buying Biggie's album and listening to that, and I was like, "Oh snap!" and just blown away. But Lecrae just did his thing on that.
Hearing that clip made me realize that I prefer when Lecrae raps slower. When he slowed down, the purpose in your time, I preferred that to him going fast. It seemed more like his pocket. You know what I mean? So that's when the song got better for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was close.
Yeah. So what was that?
So that's a round for Lecrae. So overall, it's 4-2 Biggie.
Okay.
Oh, you got two.
You got 2 rounds, man.
So, but I don't think this is going to prove your point.
I was trying to make sure that like the person who heard it was like, okay, you know what I mean? But
how do you think he would have voted?
Probably he would. I think he would have went back and forth with certain ones, like you know what I mean, certain ones that he probably didn't know. Because I think me and Prophet, he was asking for verses. He was like, "Yo, man, give me a hot Biggie verse." Bro. And I was like, "Bro,
you didn't play Suicidal Thoughts?"
No.
That's bro, you didn't play I Got a Story to Tell. You didn't play More Money, More Problems. Like,
More
come
money,
on.
More Problems,
I had one for round 7 too that would have.
What's round 7?
I mean, Biggie won, so there's no need to do round 7.
We don't get no round 7.
We don't get it. We don't get round 7.
If you win, only on tosses.
So y'all should have voted more.
Nah, it's facts.
No, but I think you said something. You was joking, and you in your honesty of being like, we can't do legends. And I think one thing is when we do line for line showdown, sometimes we try to put people against people that people automatically think like you don't got a chance. But at the same time, if they're good, they're good. So what do you think people can? Do you think would be ever a day when we can get a Christian artist that could go against Biggie, Tupac, the Jay-Z's of the world? Where it's like
when Aaron Cole is 40.
He's stupid.
And you do this again.
Look, but I say this. I put Truth against Jay.
We've done that.
We've done that. That was the original one. That was the original one.
That was the second
So
one.
How did that go? Yeah, Truth.
I'll do that.
Truth
Like
did good.
Ambassador.
Yeah.
Truth is bitter like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Why did you say that when you were talking about your tweet? You was like, man, if Truth ain't the number 1 on your list for Christian hip hop, then why are you doing it?
That's just, I feel like that's common sense for me. Truth is like, I mean, first of all, my pops and my uncles put me on Truth, but I'm just like, if you listen to the bars and everything that he was saying, and also put in like the biblical aspect of it, like with it too, it wasn't nobody touching Truth. I don't think there's anybody touching Truth when it comes to that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Best lyricist?
Oh yeah, hands down.
Yeah, I mean that Faith album was just
Faith, Open Book.
Yeah, I love Open Book. That's my favorite.
What was the
album.
one? What's the one with my verse on it? What was that one?
That was Moment of Truth.
Moment of Truth.
That's what I'm saying.
What's that song?
The joint that he starts off and he goes, "I've been in something in numbers and numbers."
Resurrection.
I don't know if that's the name of it.
I'm homesick. This body's a tent.
No,
Heavens
that's dope too.
Yeah.
No, it was a.
I guess it's safe to say that God's people are homeless.
I feel the pressure of watching some people press up on people that they impressed with because they consider them precious. Dude, when I heard that, I was
Truth
like, I
is
didn't
crazy.
know.
Hey, shout out to Truth, bro. You feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm homesick.
Is
This body's
that
a
biased
tent.
though, or are you an East Coast bias? Because I'm like that too.
No, I'm not a bias as far as East and West Coast.
Oh,
It was
gotcha.
just Truth was their dude. Like he took the mantle straight from Ambassador.
Yeah.
For me, because the thesis for me was
Thesis
it. I
was
bought
crazy
that like
too.
15 times because I
Wow.
gave away so many copies. I wore out a bunch of copies.
Yeah.
And
Thesis
then
is
Truth
crazy
came
too.
right behind him.
Yeah.
And killed it. Took the baton.
Could Truth beat Biggie?
Maybe. Now, if it was me, it'd be a toss up every round.
Yeah, it'd be hard.
Well, depending on the songs.
Cause I'm just like Biggie's flow, bro,
It's
is
crazy.
ridiculous. Like, it's no one that compares to his flow.
But
to
so
me.
why do you think your generation, some people in your generation, not trying to play him, but some people in your generation don't feel that Biggie's up there. They think Pac is up there, but they don't think Biggie's up there.
Maybe because of the influence that Pac had. I feel like a lot of people relate to Pac more.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Biggie talked a lot about, you know, the lifestyle he was living at that time. Of just like, you know, I feel like the first album he was talking about where he came from and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then when he came back with what's the second album?
Life After Death.
Life After Death. It was like he was more talking about, you know, where he was at that time of like, you know, the level. So I feel like they just don't respect him because of that. And it was only 2 albums. Pac put out a lot more stuff because he just worked harder, I feel like, with music. So I feel like it's the influence more so than that. But me, I'm like Biggie over all of them. So it's like if I did a list of that, I got Biggie as one.
Wow.
Who's the greatest lyricist all time?
Jay-Z. Well, no, I put Jay-Z first. I forgot about Jay-Z. My bad.
Jay-Z is the greatest lyricist ever?
I think so.
What you think?
I'm gonna say B.I.G.
You think so?
Yeah.
I know that's your favorite.
Yeah.
Who's the greatest lyricist? Like just straight up lyrics, no songs don't matter. Just when it comes to a verse,
songs don't matter.
When it comes to a
that.
verse, lyricist, just
I think I still
consider they features. Like
I think I still.
This is how I judge it. Whenever the radio came on and they said this is featuring so and so,
right,
and you get excited, like oh
that's
this is
Jay.
about to be crazy. Who was like you most excited about?
Jay-Z is a top
Jay-Z,
lyricist,
bro.
Over like a Black Thought, over like a.
But I feel like for somebody like that, Black Thought, it's like we definitely get excited about that because, you know, but I don't feel like Black Thought, at least in my opinion, does a lot of features and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if we hearing a rapper on somebody's song, we're like, oh yeah,
Jay.
And so
yeah.
yeah, but I feel like Jay gets on a lot of stuff. Like he was on the Meek album, he was on the Cole album, he was on the Drake album.
I don't
you know
feel
what I'm
that
saying?
way about Jay anymore. Like when he jumps on a song, I don't feel like.
Have you heard What's Free?
Yeah.
You didn't like that verse?
It's not to me. Peak Jay was Blueprint 2, like right around that season.
Or Black
I feel
Album.
like everybody has a peak for sure, but I'm saying the consistency.
But Jay was saying some like stuff that's like, yo, I've never thought of that before. You know
But
what I mean?
what about Pound Cake? His verse on Pound Cake.
I mean, it's straight, but it's like now he's I'm talking about metaphors, chaining like his metaphor game was crazy in 2000. But to me, that's still not the greatest.
Who you got?
Feature artist.
I want to hear who you
to
got.
me, it's still a toss up between Andre 3000,
3 Stacks.
When either one of them, they were like featuring so and so.
Yeah.
M murdered all of his features.
Yeah.
Every time he jumped on a song, like they did a post death song with Biggie and 50 and M.
Yeah.
He destroyed both of them.
3 Stacks.
He destroyed both of them. But I think 3000 is I get the most excited.
Yeah. Here's the question:
when I hear he's
because
on.
now young people are playing Eminem. Like Eminem said something recently about y'all don't want no problems. If I hear my name again, blah blah blah. And people in a post was like, "Yo, Eminem's whack. He's trash. MGK got him a body. Like they don't even care about that no more." So
Not
I think
MGK got him a body.
I think now it's like, who's the last person that from our era that if they drop something, people are like, everybody's like, "Yo, we got to go to it."
Oh, 3 Stacks.
Yeah, for sure.
Outkast.
It's just hard to it's hard to say because he never really dropped his own thing straight up. You know what I mean?
Right.
We have no proof.
Right.
I think Jay is still the one that could still put out something and still get numbers. Because Lil Wayne came out with something that was just like, people were like, "It's cool, it's straight."
Yeah.
I don't know. M still puts out numbers, but it's a mixed reaction. It's not like undeniable.
I don't feel like M hard now.
Yeah, to me, early M, early J, mid 2000s Wayne. These are the people that are in contention. But to me, for the greatest lyricist.
But 444, that was a couple years ago.
444, son.
That was a couple years ago.
I mean, it's cool.
Is Jadakiss in there? Is Jadakiss in the running?
Jadakiss has moments. There's people who have had moments
like
where
Nas,
I
you can't forget Nas.
My guy,
Nas,
Common.
Yes,
Common Sense.
Nah, I'm not a Common guy. I'm not really a Nas.
You're bugging.
That's my guy.
I'm not really a Nas guy or a Common guy.
Oh my God.
Nas, like first album Nas, I got you.
For sure.
Ever since then, it's been like, it's straight.
It's all right.
You sound like Takeover.
Huh?
So you sound like Takeover.
That's how I feel.
I mean, honestly, yeah. And I feel that way about Jay. Like, I feel like his verses are, it's okay. You know, he's rapping about paintings.
That's a
and
one
stuff.
good album every 10 year after.
So I just wonder if we have people like that in CHH where it's like, yo, I get excited. Like, not just like, I'm listening to this because it's good for my soul and stuff. No, this joint is gonna be crazy.
I think we do have a top lyricist. I think Eshawn's a beast.
Eshawn is crazy.
Eshawn gets busy. I think, like you said, the truth. I think I'm trying to think of people like
who do we get excited if it's featuring somebody?
I get excited on Deal.
Deal is he's one of those.
He's a killer of features too. He gets on there.
I'm still banging the drum for my dude, man. Tory Deshawn. Y'all keep sleeping.
Tory is hard, but I don't know if I get excited that he featured on it.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. But
I'm telling you.
Right, he got to prove that though. That's my guy. Tory, shout out Tory.
He's proven it to me.
Yeah, you've been.
One day you guys will know.
What about okay? So real quick, is NF in that conversation? If NF is on a feature with somebody?
But NF ain't doing no more features right now. So, but when he did features, he killed everybody on that Marty song. So the one with the friends or whatever.
You know who was probably the all-time like I got the most excited feature-wise was Gibbs. Whenever he was on whenever he was featured on something, he killed the Bizzle remix of whatever that song was. Every time he jumped on a feature, it was
Same
like,
team joint.
Whoo, that's crazy.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. So
for sure.
Yeah, we'll see. I think we got a lot of people that are like that are in that realm where it's like, I don't know. I got to hear some more. You know what I'm saying? Got to hear some more. We gonna get there.
I think Gemstones could have been another person too.
He could have been. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is he doing?
I think his situation kind of locked him in.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Free gems.
But I'm thinking I saw something where he said he's going to do some more stuff. It was supposed to be this year, but
free gemstone.
But I think his situation
Chi-town.
where it exists was kind of.
But yeah, I just miss like hearing metaphors that were like, like Jay. I remember Jay is like, he said, left hand and lean him like a little past 6. Like the imagery of seeing like 6 o'clock, a little bit past 6 o'clock, the leaning of your head after you get hit with a jab. Like that's craziness to me. How you think of that?
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff I'm missing. Like,
but it's hard
connecting things like that.
So it's hard to do that now because I feel like we get not motivated to do it because no one cares.
Nobody cares. Yeah, and that's what I'm starting to see. It's like the effort that needs to be put in to make sure that metaphor lands, makes sense, fits into the song, don't stick out like a sore thumb.
You can't really go crazy metaphor if you're trying to be Migos flow. You know what I mean?
It's like because I appreciate, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate that, and I try to do that, but it's a certain amount that you have to do now. Otherwise, people gonna be like, all right, what is he talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's slowly coming back. If you look at the success of Toby, like we were talking about.
Yeah, he does it. He does it all the time.
And I think there's a hunger, there's a growth for it now for people who are looking for
I definitely
art.
feel like we're coming back to the rappers.
Yes.
Toby focuses on it where every single line is meant to be a metaphor. You know what I mean? Like it's intentional. And he does a pretty good job at it. So yeah, I just missed that. I know music has changed, but we'll see. We'll see if it changes back.
Did we forget about Cole and Kendrick?
They do it sometimes for me.
Sometimes.
For
Every
me.
time J. Cole went dumb.
J. Cole is good to me. JID is better.
You think
as far as what I'm talking
JID
about? As far as what I'm talking about with metaphors, he's better. J. Cole is good with flow pattern wise. He's
storytelling,
amazing. Yeah. Kendrick don't really do metaphors like what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm talking, he's one of those people that if he gets on a track with people are like,
it's exciting. It's
yeah.
exciting. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm just not hearing that same thing I used to hear when I was like a teenager. So. Anyway, let's get back. Thank you for coming, man.
Yeah. No doubt. I'm gonna say Aaron Cole verse is pretty valuable too. I'm gonna just say that.
I remember he performed at one of our events one time, and he did a verse. I don't know if you remember which one it was, but I told him, I was like, "You got it. That's what I've been talking about."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember what verse that is?
I don't know what verse it was, but I remember you saw it. You said that on the Line for Line joint.
Yeah, it was. I heard him do a verse. He did it on stage at what was that thing we did? The Aaron was doing
Rap Real,
right? He did it on stage there, and I was like, "That's it. That's what I've been missing."
Was that Got No Choice second verse?
Or it might have been Got No Choice.
I don't know what it was, but I was just like, "That's it. If you can do this, you straight." You
Rappers
good.
used to be notorious, not a no biggie.
You remember
was that the line?
As I look at the things that I've been through, glad that I made it. Been many days that was jaded, that pain I needed to take it. I put it on these haters and everybody that faked it, just wondering what I'm baking. In front of their face, my cake is old Michael Jackson. Come and rock with me. Rappers used to be notorious, now they no biggie. Started from the bottom and I still ain't got all that.
Yeah. That one.
All that
joint. But yeah, so like what I'm listening for, and I don't know if people like, if you didn't grow up in my era, what I'm listening for is the metaphor, but also you're chaining rhyme schemes together where you're not just doing the typical rhyme the last word.
Yeah.
You're not just sticking on a certain. You come back to rhyme schemes that are. Okay, this is how I compare it to. I know we're going along, but when you listen to a comedy act, right?
Yeah.
Like we were just
And they
talking
wrap
about
it
Dave
up.
Chappelle, right?
Yeah.
And they bring something back that they
That's
set up
genius to me.
earlier. That's
Yeah.
when I'm like, yo, you are now on another level.
Right.
When a rapper does that with their rhyme scheme, where they set up a rhyme, they go somewhere else, and they come back to that rhyme. To me, that's when you're like, okay, this is special.
Yeah, it's just hard. Like, I tried to do this on this album for sure.
Yeah.
It's hard to do so much because even like who I work with, like some of the producers that I work with, like they just be like, okay, yeah, that's cool. Like,
Yeah,
you know
nobody
what I'm saying?
cares,
Like,
yeah.
nobody cares. It's like it's more about now what you're saying
Yeah.
as far as like something that resonates with somebody, something that relates to somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So,
true.
it's hard.
That's super true. So anyway, I'm listening for that. I'm Deal does it, Aaron does it.
People talked
Tory does it.
about Jared Sanders and
Sanders
Swoop.
does it. Swoop is one of the best at it.
Yeah, it goes true Swoop for me.
Swoop
Really?
is one of the
Wow.
best at it. Yeah, like I hear people who focus. Even Kristen Gray can do it. But flow wise, he's more flow to me than metaphor. But he can do it. So I still hear it every now and then. But I'm just That's what I'm missing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm missing. Anyway, you in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.
They got raised me to be a little beast. Caught a couple fags in the streets. Played on the beach. Playing records with my Uncle Keith. I hit a fam off for the beats. I roll it down Imperial. Old school in my stereo. From Skyline, you don't hear me though. I took a road trip to Long Beach. Hit the wrong street and they bang on you. But I'm good, I know Mosky. Got a cousin off of Wilmington and El Segundo. Yeah, that's Compton where it get hotter when the sun low. Visit Grace down in Southgate. Hey, good, thank God for my people.
Thank y'all for listening. Appreciate y'all.
Nice to meet you in person.
Yes, definitely. I'll see y'all tonight.
Somebody said our website was down.
Is it still down now? Because I've been working on that all night. Who said that? In here?
Spofford decided.
Right. When did he say that?
During the show, he said it's not just literally took 2 to 3 minutes to load up.
Yeah, I'm still working on it. I'm actually, I think it's our hosting provider. They're having trouble, so I'm trying to move us to AWS. I'm sick of them. Just all night, like, it just wasn't working. I'm like, what is going on? Ionos. They used to be 1 and 1. We moved from GoDaddy to them. And I've been building a new site on AWS, but our old site is still on Ionos. So I think I may just have to move the WordPress site temporarily while I still work on the Python site. Because I can't deal with that. That's not.
So who's hosting it now?
Ionos. It was just slow last night. It was slow, and then sometimes you go to it and it would take you to like one of those park sites, you know, with the links on them. Like, what's going on with them? Yeah. And then later it would come back. That's them. All right. Peace out, y'all.